Good dog. Good dog. Good dog. All right. Hey people, how we doing out there? First things first, my name is Kenneth Burr. My company is IOEG Technology Screens. We're going to be doing a demonstration, not demonstration, forget it. We're working on the medieval cardboard cottage. I have detail work to do today, a lot of detail work. Let me get my stuff set up here. Choose some hot tea, but I'm going to wait on that. I think I'm way too much tea today. I think I'm going to just drink water. I had to go get some water for that. That's almost fun. Alright. We got detail work to do today. Maybe some painting, I don't know. So I built one of these to do some work to show off a new technology we're working on, which is a super invisible version of the AdTech technology. And after building a few houses, I got addicted to it and I started building these. Yeah, the bigger ones are over there. I decided to turn them into giant lights. I'm doing with those. I have little people inside. I gotta do a demo for AdTech, and I'm gonna take that screen, which I have on my desk, and the projector I'm using to do that one. So it's just pretty easy to do. Let me see what's going on here. And I'm also too in the process. I gotta build me another PC. Let me see. Build me another PC. Let me see. What's this? Oh. Well, that's unfortunately we can't help you with that. Let me see. I have this policy for myself about not once you contact my company and we've replied to you twice and we get this runaround like a couple we don't bother with you after that. We're done. We move on. I really don't have time. I'm very, very busy, so I don't have time for that type of shenanigans. I don't. So unfortunately, we can't help them because I deal with customers every day, and customers are pretty straightforward on what they want. They tell us the projector. They tell us the type size screen they're putting in, stuff like that. And if we're getting the runaround on you, which means if we're basically giving you all the information you need at all, period. And then we're going through this whole runaround process with you. We're not wasting more time with you. Let you go. So there's from there. You're more than welcome to go out and buy a screen from somebody else. I mean, that's up to you. No, we're not going to call that. We're sorry. We'll waste the time for us. That does not make any sense. Let me see. All right. So if you're going to stand, I'm a man of punctuality. You have to be on time with me. If you make an agreement or a date to be there and you're not there, we don't bother with you. Just like that. You have to be on time. You make the agreement, you make the date. It's your job to be there on time. Now, if something comes up, then you inform me and let me know something comes up. And then we can work around it. But if I take my time out to go meet with you or whatever in the deal, whatever, and you don't show up, that's it. That's the end of it. We're done. I'll block your email. So his email is about to be blocked right when I get done with all this. It means nothing at the end of the day. You have to be punctual. You have to be on time. I don't know how people were raised coming up. I was raised military. I was raised you have to be there on time. Not a minute too soon, not a minute too late. You have to be there On time, punctuality. That's the problem what people have today. Do not know how to take dates seriously. Don't play that game like that with people. I'll drop your entire contract on something like that. I don't play that. Be there on time. Can't be there on time? Call. Yeah. No, we're passing. All right, let me get to work on here. Let's see. Now, keep in mind, as I said before, some people would say, "Oh, I had that one with the guy with the the Black Diamond incident, where this guy contacted us and got nasty about some dumb nonsense." I said, "You know what? That's what we're not doing business because we're done." Some people feel the need to treat you like dirt and think you need their money. Like, go ahead, bye bye. Y'all go get me a whatchamacallit friend. Go get it. Knock yourself out. Big deal. And it emails me back and says, "Yeah, I got the screen. Da 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 da." It's like $20,000 for the screen. I said, "Okay, well, good." He said, "It's way better than yours." Ah, you think so, huh? But I sent them some literature on the company we were talking to a while back that basically was surprised that we were able to make one of their screens using screen paints instead of a fabric or film, and how much he paid for that thing. Yeah, he contacted me 8 or 9 times about basically he made a mistake. He was a little stressed out that day. Da 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 da. No, we don't sell to you. Bye. To show you how rare it is to find anything like us. All right, let me get to what I got to do here. We got to do detail work today. So that, let me get my box out at the end of the day. I find it odd that why? I just what it is, but I find it odd on that one at the end of the day. Usually, we know it's a hoax. That's a hoax. I can tell it's a hoax. But anyway, because if someone's going to say, "Hey, look, I need you to call me on this certain date, so and so and so," and they'll give you the reason why, because most people you can call them any time of the day. Usually that's how it works. Yeah, we got cell phones now. So we know it's a hoax because who waits all the way until a certain day to be called and then not there for the call at all, period. And when we call those numbers using star 67. Star 67 blocks any calls that go through. So you don't even have our number when it goes through. So we can make sure you're legit. Because, you know, we have people at the end of the day who have very serious mental issues who basically feel the need to make up fake accounts and all that nonsense. I keep telling you over and over again, stop entertaining Satan. You won't do any harm to me, but you'll do plenty of harm to yourself. And just when you do something like that, posing as a minister or a priest or whatever, man, you get yourself in so much trouble. You know there's written in judgment, right? Yeah, you're written in judgment that fast. Good gracious. They never learn anything. They don't. They learn nothing. All right, I'm about to enter my world with my... Oh, where's my sisters at? My sisters up here? Enter my world with my... What's my build here? Oh, excuse me. I had to drink a ton of water because I don't think that spaghetti digested correctly. Let me see where my sisters are. I know you're in here. Got everything out today. Oh, we found cardboard too. I had to basically rearrange everything and I found cardboard. I got 2 promo videos to make today, but you got to get around doing that. Oh, scissors are right here. Getting everything done on that because I got some demonstrations I got to show off later on again. It's going to be a busy week for me. I'm going to get on a little later each time because it's going to be a very busy week for me. Let's move on. Let me see. No, I'm just going to ignore that. I'm good. Let's see. Let me see. We got the... This one here. I'm going to go with copyright-free medieval music. Did we even hear anything I just said? Copyright-free medieval music. It's not even what I asked for. Seriously? Copyright free This thing had lost its mind today. Copyright free medieval music? Jeez. That's a terrifying thing about voice recognition software, that it automatically thinks it knows what you're trying to say before you're going to say it. So it pretty skips ahead before you can finish. Alright, gee whiz Louise. Alright, I'm going to put my trim in. I got to do my trim right here for the, for our, let's see the height of this right here. For our medieval, starting on the trim for the whatchamacallit, for detail for the medieval blacksmith. I gotta go pick up some sand and some glue, and I want glue, that'll work better for that. And we gotta turn the floor in there into a dirt floor. Kind of curious and did some research on medieval floors for the blacksmith. I know they were made out of wood because that'd have been a fire right there from the door. And so I was wondering, maybe it was cobblestone, but a lot of them, the original ones, were made out of dirt floors. So we gotta give it that look. At least we're in here early so we can get some builds done. So I'm drinking my water. Later on, probably get a cup of hot tea and finish off on my builds here. And now entering my world in my head for this little area we'll be putting together. I'm also going to be working on some more landscaping today. I definitely want to do some more painting. Definitely more to do some painting. I haven't done any painting yet. All right, let's get this down here because we got plenty of cardboard now. And I got 10 boxes coming in. I had to order some stuff. I'm also, too, in my head, going to be talking about a little bit about the PC because I'm very excited. I'm going to be building a new PC. And literally have to build a whole new PC because I want to run that Kinect system so badly. That sensor system. All that beautiful software and how to do it. And I don't have a 3.0 USB. We don't have one on the other two machines. I wasn't planning on putting anything like that anyway to begin back there. But now I'm going to be building me a Cyberpunk PC because I'm not going to build a steampunk because I've built the steampunk machine before. I've never built a Cyberpunk. So finding yellow is a pain in the neck, but I found a company that sells a paint that is exactly the same color as the Cyberpunk, that bright, bright yellow. Man, that was a bit to find. So I'm going to have to, they don't make a yellow, look, they don't make a yellow, yeah, put that hole right there. They don't make a yellow liquid cooling system or fan or power supply, none of that stuff. So we have to do all that stuff ourselves. Matter of fact, oh, I'm on this phone. All right, okie dokie, don't make a difference. Some stuff I got to look up. Why I'm doing that because I'm going to be ordering my Dell pretty soon. The Dell, and I'm modifying the cheapest way to do it, by the way. To modify your Dell. I got to take it out of that case too. All right, let me get all this removed. Done. I tell people, if you get that message from us that comes through, because again, like I said, if I turned down all my customers, I wouldn't be in business. I wouldn't be doing anything at all, period. But we just don't tolerate nonsense. I don't think any business tolerates the nonsense. And you got to come correct. Know what you want. You know, people contact us or tell us what's the size of the screen, and they'll tell us the type of projector, which we definitely have to know this. So that's it. That's pretty much it. It's a very simple process. It's not hard to do. But, you know, we got runarounds, and I know runarounds when I see them. I've been in business for a bit, so I know runarounds when I see them. And the Lord directs us and tells us who to do business with and who not to do business with. And then that's what we do. We bypass your order. Now I'm looking at this, following this guy, just for a moment, that on Facebook, whoopsie, where are you going? On Facebook, where's my surface for this? or these false prophets, and on Facebook who's claiming that the world in 2025 is going to be destroyed by a flood. Oh my goodness, this is very sad. Very sad that people are like this. And no, the world is not going to be destroyed. There's this guy, black guy in Africa named Noah. And he said the Lord told him that the world was going to be destroyed by water in 2025. December the 25th, 2025. No, it's not going to happen. I keep explaining to people that man does not know when God is going to come back. He didn't state it. He never did. Angels in heaven don't even know that one. So if the angels in heaven themselves, who are right there in heaven with God right now, as we speak, don't know this, how would you know it? If he didn't share with the angels, how in the world would you even know this? I told you, that's the first one the Bible warns you about. The second it warns you about the day, it tells you in the Bible how the world's going to be destroyed. It said fire. Didn't say anything about water. So the world's going to be destroyed by fire the next time around. That's the reason why the rainbow appeared. The rainbow was a covenant between man and God, of God promising that the world would never be destroyed again by water, that it would be destroyed by fire. And these guys come to this false prophet nonsense. And it's a shame because people will sit there and believe in that nonsense. Oh, that's what happened with that fellow. Where's my water bottle? I just bought water, but to say here it is. That fellow Howard Canting. His main office was based in California. And he told these people, when God was coming back, May the 21st, he said it was. God was supposed to come back. And these people went out, and some people dropped out of college, and people sold their houses, and euthanized their pets. All kinds of craziness went on. Because they believed God was going to come back. And you don't read your Bible where it sits there and says that nobody knows when God's going to come back. But they believed in this man. And this guy was dangerous because he was doing this stuff worldwide. It was worldwide. Now, Family Radio has some good scriptures and stuff on it, did. But it was overshadowed by the owner who owned the business. And it was just a lot of people on one side did not believe in him. There was his kids who did not believe in him, of course, and turned out that it never happened. It's a shame. That's why I tell people, stop believing those false prophets. All right, getting our trim in. The master builder is coming in. This is basically our elf that comes in the house to build all the stuff put together. Where the heck is the volume control in this? Oh, here it is. There we go. Volume control. I'll put my trim in. I'm going to change for this time because we didn't have no cardboard. And I'm thinking we're completely out. And I go to check to go organize the office a little better. And there it was, a bunch of cardboard in there. I was like, oh crap, we can definitely use this. Thank you, Jesus. Another blessing from God. Blessing us with more cardboard. So we built this entire village, piece by piece, one piece of cardboard at a time. Nothing here is a pre-built box. It's all done one by hand. Get that up in there. All right. Let's see. Should be here. And this should be it. Oh, there we go. Sees it right there now, like that. Alright. Let's get your window clean. I think what I want to do is start my channel with pleading in the name of the blood, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The reason why, because you should always pray before you come on your channel. You don't know what may enter your room, something that may be evil, that may be watching you or upset with you or bitter with you. And you will make sure you pray for the Lord to deal with those that are influenced by demonic spirits. I'm going to put my other piece here. No, you're going to sign that. Let's see. Alright, a little bit in there. Let's see, your roof is definitely a shingle roof. So we'll definitely be putting in your shingles today. I can run up these shingles. Alright, window installed in here. Make sure you're fully in. Alright, that's one side completed. Window on that side has to be done. And we need trim. I should be right in there. I wonder. Does that fit in there like so? Oh, yeah, it does. Heck yeah. Thank you, Lord. Fit in there perfectly. Okay. I feel you're lifting up a little bit here. Let's get you in there. Okay. Put your windows. Alright, you need to trim to that bottom area too. Nice thin trim. Other way. If you're pushing off to the side, that's what you're doing. Alright, not a biggie. Over to there. You'll fight me a little bit, I know you will. Come on. Oh man, that is going to be an interesting little fight. Get that to fit in there, that's going to be interesting. I'm going to have to do a little bit here and squeeze it in there because man, that is a very interesting fight to get that in there. Yeah! Got burnt in that one. Alright, come on, come on, come on. Stop fighting me, stop fighting me, fighting me. That's the second time you pushed out on that one. Should not have pushed out on that one. You should have locked it right in there quite nicely. Sheesh. Ah, my fan. It's giving me a good fight. Whew. The window, they don't want to go in. All right. I see you fighting me. I got you. Come on. I'm glad the other one's not going to be that hard to put in, because this one's right next to the black shop. It's kind of hard to get it to fit, and it's one little area in here, and it is fighting me quite a bit. I got you. Okay, burn me in the last part. It's like trying to get a dog under control. At the last minute, he bites you. Did you get bit? I got bit. I'm not in any pain, but I got bit. Oh, there you go. Jawa. Man, that was a pain in the butt to get that little corner in there. I just fought me every step of the way. Just in case, if you decide you want to push out a little bit more, make sure you're locked right in there. Okay. Jeez. All right, let me see. Got any more left over? We got one more. Put some more. Glue gun off a little bit here. Okay. We're going to build chairs, benches outside. All that has to be assembled and put together. We're going to do all that. Balconies. All that stuff has to be put in. We're going to start one place at a building at a time. So the first one we'll be working on right now for detail work is going to be the blacksmith. His building. Okay. We're out. And maybe more groups soon. And order a whole bunch of plastic for windows. A lot of plastic for window. Okay, that's done. Give me, I need a, yeah, probably did. Let's see. Ah, found it in the drawer. Okay, cool. All right, let's get this done. get around the door done. We got to trim the door out, or better yet, I might just put in door. I do need that trim though. So door's going to be about that high. Oh, nice sturdy door in there. Come on, right. Perfect. Perfect. Little door. All right, that's my door right there. Don't jack it up. Don't mess it up. Don't lose it. Need that for my door. All right, next step. That's done right there. We got to trim that piece off of that. Still got to put the little that there and there. Spot right there. 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 More. Multiple areas of the house. So dab it through there. That stays. Get this a little farther out. That's good. Another piece. Oh, that's the door. Don't touch that. Off my fingers. Barbecue for you. There we go. Okey doke. Let's see. Door. I need you to be, I want you on the outside too. So we'll put you right here. Come on. Out of the way. Out of the way. Out of the way. crap, really? Oops, leave it alone. Under the door. All right. Leave it a crack open. Why? Because when the light's inside, there's just enough the light peeks around the door and the corners, like we did the other one. Gives it that nice little story time look to it. All right. Let's start on our trim for the top. Ordered my medieval mug, so I can have my mug. Okay. Hold on, put it here, there. We can trim this off as we go along. If I can get to it. Okay, we can trim these off. Okay. Just a little bit more. I don't want you to touch that window too much. We need one more. Yes, we want some ones. 10 sheets of cardboard. I saw a vision that the Lord gave to me for another build, mining carts. So we're going to build this inside tunnel that goes all the way down like this canyon, and there'll be little areas where the carts are going in and out, and then when you turn it around, you can see what's inside. Came to me in a vision, and the next one to build. But we'll have to put that someplace else. We don't have room for that. But if the Lord shows me something like that, that means He has plans for me to go and find my warehouse, what we've been hunting for. That's what that stands for. So, just have to keep looking. I'll find what I need. There we go. Now let's start on our trim for the top. Everything is trim, trim, trim. I have to get some of this center cardboard. This center cardboard is fantastic for trim work. So we're going to have to get different types of cardboard. This kind of comes from like PC parts, come with these boxes like this. I'm so excited. I'm going to be building me Cyberpunk PC very soon. So happy about that. Man, this is going to require insane customization, which I do love. I have to paint all the parts. There's nothing we can find. It's the Cyberpunk colors. We can't find anything. So all that means we have to do it ourselves. And I freaking love it. You know, there's people that are mad at me because of that. It's unbelievable. I find it sad. It's sad. It is. That you're mad at a man. I'm a man. You're jealous over me because what I do. You know, God could bless you with that. He can't give it to you because you block your blessings. I find it's an interesting circle. They're mad at other people because they're not getting what other people have. And yet they can have what the Lord wants to give them because they block their blessings. So I was talking about where they were saying, well, you know, because he's making something, again, not going to last long. You know what he's doing is wrong. But anyway, that money you make here, you're not taking it with you. You know that, right? You're not taking 1 red cent with you. But what you will take with you in the next life is your sins, if they do follow with you. See, that's what people don't understand, that part at the end of the day. Some people don't get that part. They think because I make a lot of money here, I'm building a world here. You didn't build a world in the next life. That's the one that counts, because that's when you're going to be there forever. Here, you're not going to be here forever. You're short time here. But in that world where you have to build for, you're not going to be taking anything you gained on this earth. Your fame, whatever, it's not coming with you. Nothing's coming with you at all. Nothing. You came in with nothing, you're leaving out with nothing. So, I would rather be broke, on the street, eating out of trash cans, and be poor and have God, than be rich and wealthy and have Him not. It's going to be like the rich man and the poor man. But to put me in that category, nah. You'd be surprised what we make. You'd be very surprised what we make. Mind you, I'm not trying to brag here, and I'm not, but my stuff don't go for no 60, 70 bucks. So even my gray screen paint back in the day didn't even go for that. So, no. I remember the most I made, roughly, short amount of time, $20,000. Less than a half an hour. 20 grand in a half an hour. Some guy came in, I don't know, we came from some country, he wanted to develop some invisible technology for something, he wanted for some hologram technology. And I thought he was joking at first. I thought he was just messing with me. And I said, yeah, very funny. We deal with trolls all the time. He said, no, I'm not messing with you. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was in bed with my ex. He said, no, I'm not joking with you. I'm dead serious. We need this stuff. Like, can you make it for me? I've seen your videos. I know you can make it. And I said, yeah, well, we got to make you something different because we can't sell the stuff that we're selling, you know, so and so. So I'm trying to take this conversation seriously, but in the back of my mind, I'm taking it with a grain of salt, like this ain't real. He said, well, you don't think I'm real? I said, I got you. Okay. What's your PayPal account? So I give him the wire transfer through. We had like $3,000 transferred to the account. I was like, oh, shoot, he's real. Yep. He said, I need, you can keep that. That's yours to show you that we mean business. And I'll give you 20 grand. And I made the stuff for him. Like I said, it doesn't make us long, 20 minutes to make that technology, send it over to him, sign all the paperwork and everything. And then my account was $20,000. That's when I went to Disney World. I was like, oh, shoot, we just made $20,000. So what are you going to do? I was like, I don't even know. So, let's go to Disney World. And that's where we went. That's how we ended up in Disney World. So, yeah. And this technology, that... Yeah, Cena was working without reconnection. Now, since we had the power outage, they had to come in and got to tweak everything all over again. But anyway... Yeah, with this new technology we have now, and basically we're going to be doing a lot of business offline. Yeah, we're going to definitely clean up really super fast. So, yeah, I've got all kinds of stuff set up. I got ad tech going into multiple stores. I had a meeting today on top of that. They liked it. They can't wait to basically get the chance to work with it. But they can't work with it until we get our paperwork back from Uncle Sam, so we can protect their stuff. But anyway, yeah, so yeah, ad tech is already sold. Like, it's already been selling already. So that's why I said that, you know, but I know at the end of the day that the money we make, I don't look at it like, oh, no, I don't build it for my future here. It's not my future here. It's here to help me get by and things I need to do. That's it. That's as far as it goes. But it's not my future here. I don't have a future here at all. My future is in the next world with Jesus. That's what I build on. It's not here. Ooh, that's why I want to use that soft cardboard. Goes in much better, man. That trim came out nicely right there. Do not get caught up in the things of this world. The devil will steal your blessings and steal your soul at the same time. Do not get caught up in it. Got to keep your eyes on the prize, and that is basically walking with Jesus. That's why when that money pushes in on that level, I've had money on that level. Not that level, not the level we're about to be on. No, never like that. But for what he's making, $5,000 in it, please. I've made that money. I think I can afford those houses at the end of the day. That last house I was in was very expensive. That's a big house. It ate up a ton of electricity, especially with all the stuff I'm using. We had lights in the back. I had no idea a floodlight can use that much power, but apparently they do a lot. We had floodlights in the back, the front, and I kept running them all night. I never turned them off. So I ran those lights all night. I've been there for about a couple, like 4 years, I think it was there. The house was costing me $8,000 a month. It was expensive. It was very expensive. So, yeah. I was able to maintain all that, take my ex out to dinner and stuff like that, and, you know, shopping, all that stuff, do all that stuff, go to dinner with dinner every day. Yeah. So, you've seen the orders we're pushing through. We're pushing through freaking somewhere between 80, 90, 100 orders a day. At somewhere roughly at $300 a pop. We're making a killing. And then it got to a point where I'm just thinking like, I want to do all these orders. Yeah, it got to that point where you have to get up in the morning, you got a ton of freaking orders waiting for you, you're printing out. I used to spend hours just printing out on paper again and again. Then you take that stack down, you got to remember, this is going overseas, this is going here, this is going there. Make sure you get nobody's orders mixed up with all those orders going through. And then I got to go down there and I got to put labels to all those containers. So I was sitting there, I had a whole box of containers down there that I put label after label after label after label. And it doesn't make a difference if you're tired. It doesn't make a difference if your back hurt. It doesn't make a difference you don't feel well. You got to get it done. And then once all that's done, I got to pack everything up and I got to pay my friend to put all that in a truck and take it all the way down to the post office and carry all that stuff in one by one, or have them come pick it up for me. That's a lot of freaking work. And I said, man, the only reason why I did all that because I had someone to take care of. When I had somebody to take care of, I had to do that kind of stuff. But me by myself, I do roughly, I say 3 containers. Maybe roughly I do like, hopefully, I say hopefully roughly about 4 times out of a week. So because that's not a lot. When they go for around $300, $400, I'm capped under $500. So about 3 of those, that's $1,500 that I can make. $1,500, and I do about 3 of those. They're about set here and there. I can make about $6,000. I can make 4,000, 5,000 here and there. There you go. And my technology is designed that when I make it, it profit brings me back 90% to me. So I can pay for all my expenses, licenses, and everything else. I got to pay for all my business expenses and stuff, and still come out with 90%. That's how God designed it. And then we can develop technology in 20 minutes, which means we can rapidly design other companies as we build one company. I have 2 businesses right now. I have one over Crystal Ridge, which we're converting that back to a store. So, yeah, you know, and then ad tech's worth millions of dollars. It's worth a lot of money because of what it's designed to do. It's a first screen that you can take outside and watch in daylight. Do you have any idea how many people are going to jump on that thing when it launches? So there's just so many possibilities that we have at the end of the day. I'm going to start another business. I'm going to be working in a product line for clothing. I want to get into designing PC cases using ad tech technology. So much stuff. But at the end of the day, when I get down to thinking about it, I was like, do you really want to do all this? I'm like, no, I really don't want to do all this. Sometimes if you see technology we engineer, you never hear from it ever again because I don't want to do it. We already had that much stuff. I retired 500 screen paints on my other account. We don't make them anymore. Supreme 8, Supreme 7. We had a 21, there's a 22 or something else. I don't have Roman numbers on it. All that stuff, man. 38 Black Widow, 39 Black Widow, all that stuff. D5K, D6K. There's a whole bunch of stuff we made. We don't make it anymore. Pre-coated screens, motorized projection screens. I even sold a set one time that had the frame. We built the frame and everything, sides and everything, put the whole thing together. Sent to the frame. But now, you know, getting older, and now I'm thinking like, man, if this thing blows up to where it's going to blow up, I'm hiring somebody to run my company, and I'm going to disappear off the face of the planet for a little bit. But I'm going to get somebody to run it. If somebody runs it, you know what I mean? That's fantastic. Then I can go do what I want to go do and let them run the business. They will disappear, people. Disappear. Be poof, gone. And they can run it. Yep. I got other business adventures I want to do. Like, you know, my whole t-shirt product line. I want to work on that. Oh, you're not using the good thin cardboard. Not the good thin one. So, you know, basically, I've been there and done that. I got a degree as a chef. I was making 25 at that time, 25, $30 an hour working at Bookbinders. It was a Blue Shell Cafe and Bookbinders are the 2 highest jobs I had paid. And then got into PC and computers and stuff like that with this stuff over here. I was making, when Vista came out, Vista was garbage. When Vista came out, Vista was so bad that it looked pretty, but the drivers were not compatible with a lot of hardware, and people's printers and keyboards and stuff like that. Their multimedia keyboards weren't working because it wouldn't read it. So they went back to XP. I made a killing that year because people were bringing their stuff over, and I was converting it back for $130 for the installment because there's no place you can go when you're in the hood. You got one person that does that type of work. That's where they go to. So I found there was another guy in there just like me. He did the same kind of work. But he didn't build like the mods like I did with the color fans and all that stuff like that. So me and him got to talking. He had a lot of parts in there. So, hey, how about this? I'll build you a couple of little high-tech PCs that you can sell and make some good money on, and you give me some parts. And that's how we worked out our deal. I swing people his way, business his way. Well, I got a buddy over here that works for so-and-so and so, and he swing business my way. We work back and forth. We helped each other out. So that was that. I made fantastic money with that. And then after I got out of that business, because I wasn't doing that anymore, I got into basically screen paint. I've done fashion already. When I was a young buck, I learned how to make clothes by watching the women in the church. Because you know, people, knowledge is power. So I watched them in there make those gowns, and prom dresses and all this stuff down there in that in the church basement, designing clothes. And I was like, huh, I want to learn this. I learned how to make clothes. Had my own office, had my own little group of people that were making clothes underneath of me. I was making money up down. Mind you, I shouldn't have been doing any of that stuff. Because remember, that could have got me in a lot of trouble. But yeah, I was making 8-ball jackets and shirlings and all that stuff. You know, stuff like that. You know, it was altering, change. We couldn't make it exact 8-ball. We had to change them. But people didn't want it. We were making ours suede. We weren't making them leather. The original 8-ball jackets are leather. Mine were suede. So yeah, we're doing customization. But still, you know. But yeah, we've been doing all kinds of stuff. Customized bombers, all that stuff. I know we go to the other stores. Like, yeah, well, you can't go to whatchamacallit and get that stuff. You had to go down to, there's a place on South Street that, it's like a fabric district down there where they sell a lot of that fabric down there for wholesale. And that's where I was going to buy all my stuff from. Yep, it's making all my gears, making money on my jackets. So I was doing my 8-ball jackets. I was making $1,000 a pop per jacket at 16. So when I see people doing stuff like that, showing up a little $500, $1,000, come on, that's a joke at the end of the day for me. I done been there and done that already. Been there and done it. People do that when they don't have for a long time. When they don't have for a long time, they do that. They show off little trinkets. That's what they do. That's trinkets at the end of the day. That's nothing. Let me see. What you call something is when you have business license, you got a legit business, a legit company. You know, you get loans from banks, loans from companies, PayPal, stuff like that. You know what I mean? You can do all that stuff at the end of the day. You have a real legit business with business cards and all that stuff. That's when you have something to show for it. You can make your little money at the end of the day, but you got to have something to show for it. Like it's an actual business. You got to get that DBA, EIN. Oh, I forgot I got to call for a wholesale license for something I need. But if you can't basically advertise that business at the end of the day, what's wrong with your business if you can't advertise it? What you doing? And I got a friend of mine who has a certified 3D printing business. He has one. Actually, I got 2 people got them. I got to call the other person because I need something from them. Once my copyright comes back, I'm going to do something for me. But anyway, they got legitimate businesses. You got the professional cleaners, exhaust systems. He got it where his system is nice. Where basically it takes all those poisonous fumes, it takes it to another box that cleans it before it ejects it out. So he's got one of them units. He's got a decontamination unit in there, which is really freaking crazy. He has one of those in there. So when anybody walks out with any particles on any of the outfits they're wearing, because they're actually wearing little hazmat suits that they zip up with the mask, even though safety, 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 and you have to walk through that unit in and out. So you can't take any of that stuff home with you. So this place is legit. These special dumpsters out back, because the stuff that they throw out is hazmatic. You gotta have it in special dumpsters and stuff like that. So he's licensed for everything. And what he does is he does customization, like stuff I need from him. Like I say, hey, look, I need da-da-da-da, you know what I mean, for something. And they're like, okay, we'll print it out for you. So he does customizations and stuff like that. Now, his own stuff at the end of the day, the stuff that he designs, he has his copyrights and trademarks and some of the stuff that he designs for other people to buy from him. And yeah, message to the other one. He said if he ever catch you printing out any of his stuff at all whatsoever, he's going to basically sue you in court. That's a little message to Fernando from my friend at the end of the day. If he ever catches him, anything he ever catches him taking, he said he'll guarantee you. He's got ties in California. He'll have officers on your door to have you arrested for touching his stuff. I had a bunch of people contact me on that one talking about, yeah, I wish you would print my stuff out. Yeah, that's what happens when you deal with thieves. And that's what happens. Thieves usually carry the same destructive behavior everywhere they go. They carry it. It's a telltale. Like I said, if anything that's in the dark comes out in the light. We told y'all for the longest time he was stealing from y'all. He was doing fake demonstrations on screen paints. He could never back that stuff up. told you this for the longest time. When people leave one trade, they literally go to another one. And what do? They went out and started stealing people's merchandise and printing up their stuff. So they go from one trade to another trade. So yeah. Somebody said, man, if he ever catches any of his stuff pop up, I said, test him if you want. Test him. See what happens. Play that game and see what happens. I said, yeah, he saw that video. He was like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. I said, I already took care of it. It's already taken care of. It's already been taken care of. It takes a while for them court papers to hit those judges to get that all set up for them to come in there and go get his behind. They can't just go out and just reach out and just take them. They basically have to take all that before a judge so they can get the approval to have a process server come to the place and get him. He's not getting a cease and desist order. They're going to come get him because there's so much stuff on the table showing that he's running a business doing it. So it's different if you basically made the mistake, like say you printed out someone's stuff, you shouldn't have done it, but you printed it out. Most likely, sometimes they may, it depends on you dealing with, I can't say everybody, they may give you a little slap on the wrist and say, okay, look, that's it, okay? But he's running a business. He's deliberately stealing from other companies and making a profit off their work. So now they're going to treat it like a counterfeiting ring. That's how they're going to see it. So from there, they're just going to basically just hit him. So they're just waiting for some paperwork for the attorneys. So anytime you reach out from them, if an attorney comes out and gives you a cease and desist order, they can reach out with that right away. But if you never got one of them at all, you're in a lot of trouble because that means now they're getting ready to take you to court. That's what that stands for. If you haven't received any letters and you've been counterfeiting someone's stuff and they didn't send anything out to warn you, you're going to court pretty soon. I guarantee you. Guarantee you that's what's going to happen. So first things first, he shouldn't have been doing it, period. I don't know where in the world he got the idea he could do that. Because none of us can do it. Go out there and make some Nikes or some Versace's, Calvin Klein's. Go out there and make that and see what happens to you. See how fast you get locked up. Nobody doing that nonsense. You've got to be crazy. Just asking for destruction, man. And I keep telling people to go to these freaking flea markets and sell stuff like this. They got a lot of their people are in flea markets walking around. That's what I would be at. If I was going to catch somebody basically messing with my stuff, especially if I have Nike and big, I'm the guy who developed all this, I'm going to have people walking around in flea markets buying your stuff. Yeah, you're going to be sitting up there in court with all your stolen merchandise, Exhibit A, right there on the table, and the person who bought from you staring right at you like, yep, gotcha. Gotcha. Yep. And the sad thing about it is the people who probably bought the merchandise, if some of them weren't told, they probably thought they bought the real deal. So they got knockoffs. So, yep, it is what it is. And some guy gonna call me, oh, you're just jealous. Over that little bit of money? No, you're not supposed to be doing that, period. I got trademarks and I'm paying right now for the stuff for this technology over here. So no, I ain't standing for that nonsense either. I don't want anybody touching my stuff either. He was touching my stuff. That's why it's somebody beating on his door about him touching some of my stuff. Ain't supposed to do that at all, period. But apparently that person who made that phone call doesn't understand the value of other people's stuff. Got no respect for nobody's stuff. So if your car went missing or your banking account for some reason locked on you and you can't get your money out of it, then you'd be really upset if somebody did that to you. You'd want justice, wouldn't you? But it's okay when somebody else basically gets ripped off like that, right? Yeah, those people. They don't steal from other people. Apparently somebody's parents didn't teach them correctly. You don't steal. Actually, no, you can't even blame that on the parents. Because you can teach a kid from sun up to sundown not to do something, he'll still do something, mess up, and make you look bad. That's why you got to jack them up. He's making you look bad. Okay. They had the best birthday parties. The best birthday parties. My mom has some amazing birthday parties, don't get me wrong. But they, man, they went all out. They had freaking DJ and bouncy house and all this stuff. I'm like, gee whiz, really? There's a small carnival up in this shit. Man, they went out of their way. And they weren't rich. They didn't have a lot of money. They worked hard. They worked 3 jobs. Both of them. They worked hard. The kids were in football. They were actually talented. I don't know what went wrong with them. Like, they were talented in sports. They were like Bo Jacksons. They were excellent in baseball. They were excellent in football. They was excellent in track. Any kind of sport, they were good at it. The mantelpiece was littered with trophies. All first place. They were all-star players. And what they do with it? Self-destructed on every level. Some ended up in jail. Some are got murdered. One of them basically AWOL from the military, and they came and got him, and he got locked up for some dumb, crazy nonsense while he was in the military. That's some crazy stuff, man. I would just look at him like, what the freak? And you can't sit there and say it was the parents' fault, because it wasn't. The parents tried everything they possibly could to give those kids the best life they possibly could. They were just destructive, man. So I learned from that day on, at a young age, that, hey, you know, you can give your kids the world, and they will still manage to screw it up. If you're lucky to have kids at the end of the day, that they're going to do some screw-ups. That's what people do. We all do screw-ups. But not on that level, you don't. Not freaking life screw-ups that are going to be permanent screw-ups. That's the kind of stuff they did. Yep. It's crazy. Never seen anything like it in my entire life. It's like it's almost, I've seen people, and I hate to put it this way, but they were better off if they weren't born. I've seen people like that. They're just better off they weren't born. They've been better if they'd just been born probably someplace else. And some people, I feel that maybe if they were born someplace else, they might have had a fighting chance. And other people, I felt in the day, just better off if they weren't born. They were bad seeds all the way through. One got life in prison. He's never getting out. He's going to die in that place. He's never, ever getting out. And what was the other one? I don't even know what happened to those two. I know one actually AWOL from the military. I know that happened. One got life in prison. That's the rest. I don't even know what happened to the rest of them. And what I heard from stories and stuff, it ain't good. Yeah, crazy, man. We'll never forget that. People sit there and say, no, with the kids. No. Can't say that. I've seen, you've never seen the story. I can't tell you the family's name, but yeah, that craziness, man. Tried everything they possibly could, man. Gave those kids everything they wanted. I remember when the Evel Knievel's came out, because Christmas time pop up. Oh, man, remember that. Christmas time pop up. You know, you get to come downstairs, you see your toys, you get exactly what you wanted. I wanted the Evel Knievel. That's what I wanted. It was right there in the box. Got the Evel Knievel. I couldn't wait to go out in the neighborhood, because I lived, like I said, we lived out in the suburbs. So I knew other kids, my best friends and all of them, they got the same thing I got too. And sure enough, we go outside. We all meet up on the block. We all got Evel Knievel. Now we all like that. But them guys, they got the Evel Knievel motorcycles in the car, because it was a car version of it too, of Evel Knievel. And they got that too. We weren't jelly over them, because they was cool as I don't know what. They were real nice. They weren't jerks in the day. They were just destructive. That's all. Man, I was like, you got the car too? Like, you got the car too. When Batman came out, the big Batmobile, the big one they had with the Batman and Robin in it, they had that right there. The dump trucks. They had American Green Machine when they came out. We had Green Machines. We had the big wheels. Everything, man. They had everything, man. Everything. Everything. They tried their best. And the thing about it, they were good in school, too. On top of that, they were good in school, got good grades. Good in school, got good freaking grades. They're all born to be high achievers, but they were destructive. Kind of like a Malcolm in the Middle theory. That's what it was. Extremely smart, but Malcolm wasn't good at sports. Well, yeah, they were. They played baseball. They were good at sports, because their father was good at sports, so they did pick that up. They picked that trade up. They were good at hockey. They played hockey. So yeah, but they were just destructive. And when they got this, I don't even know how to go about that one, but I remember the kid got killed. Man, that was a messed up story, man. I remember him too. I do remember that kid too. Can't mention his name either. But I remember this kid on the block. Everybody knew who he was. And his mother was a nurse. She tried her hardest to try to protect him. He was the only child she had. I don't know why to this day they did that. But anyway, we had this highway near one of the parks. And they were trying to get to the mall. So they thought the best way to do was to take their bikes on the highway. And one of them was trying to cross over, and he got hit by a truck, and it killed him instantly. Yep. Never forget that. Whole block knew about it. This is a small little area we're in. We all knew each other. Yep. His mom, unbelievable, man. You never forget stuff like that when you're a kid. And she screamed and cried and screamed and cried. She told her she had a vision. She had a vision that someone was going to die that day. And she told him, don't leave the house. Don't leave the house. Stay in the house. Don't leave the house. And sure enough, here they come around the corner, those kids. And they coached him into getting on that bike and they crossed over, and he got hit by a truck and it killed him. Instantly, he died instantly. No pain at all. That's a shame. Yeah. Well, it's a shame. Imagine what he'd be doing right now with his life. Probably married, have kids, the whole 9 yards, everything. Other than that, usual jacked up stuff there. I'm surprised they didn't get it for manslaughter. I'm really surprised they didn't. Delaware was different that way. Now, probably not. But when I was coming up, yeah. They just looked at it as an accident. Should never been on the highway with them bikes. Should never the same after that. But other than that, same old usual jacked up stuff. We did have fun and all that stuff like that. It reminds me a little bit of the Burbs. It does remind me of the Burbs. Some of it remind me of the Burbs. We had this one creepy house. It didn't match all the other houses. It was like an old Victorian house, like the Monsters. It even sat to itself. It had no neighbors around it. There's a lot of brown, dried grass all the way around it, and these rickety, beat-up cement steps. And no one would even dare. Nobody in the neighborhood. I don't know what kind of urban legend they had about it, but no one would even dare go near that house. Nobody. None of the adults wouldn't even go near. It was just a creepy-looking house. All the lights were out except for one light. It was at the very top. It was always on. Every once in a while, you see the curtain ruffle a little bit, and that's basically about it. Man, that was a creepy house, man. And when you come home from work, if you're coming up that side, people would cross over. No one would ever be on that side of the house. Very once in a while, you see somebody come out and go back in. It was like the Burbs. It was just like that. And then find out later on, it was an old World War II vet that lived there. Old guy was there living there by himself. Wife had already passed on. He wasn't connected to anybody in the neighborhood because the neighborhood had changed. And he just stayed inside. Yep, that's what we found after he passed. And then what they did, they went in and they tore the house down and they put something new there. Kind of feel bad about that. Could have paid him a visit, see how he was doing or something. But, you know, some people that fear get the best of them. Including myself. I was terrified. Delaware River has an urban legend too. Sea monster. Yeah, it does. Right over there it has not the top where we're at. We had a sea monster. They told us that when I came, I heard about that for years when I was down there about this sea monster that lived in the Delaware River. I don't know where it's spread out in other neighborhoods, but I do know in our area, yeah, we had a legend about a sea monster. Well, I was terrified of going in that freaking water. I don't know what the freak was in there. It was murky, number one. You know what that freak was going to pop out you? And kids are telling you about some jacked up freaking sea serpent in there. So, all legend tells that at the end of the day, that some guy was fishing, of course, on the shore, and his dog started going off, frantically barking, and the guy was a really, they always explain the guy was a really big, wide man, because I had literally told this story to other kids that moved on the block, the same story, I'm explaining the same thing. He was a very wide man, and his dog had jumped in the water and didn't come back up. So he jumped in the water after his dog. And the dog comes up later on, and he doesn't. And later on, they find his bloated body on the other side of the Delaware River, a little farther down the creek. I forgot about that whole area. And he had these massive teeth marks from one end to his body to the next. That's why I explained his body being wide. Explaining the jaw size of the sea creature. But true story that happened, kids died in that particular section all the time. And it's because that they had sinkholes. So you be in there swimming and whoop, get sucked into one of these sinkholes and disappear. They can't find you because the water's kind of murky. Oh man, when I think about it this day, how many times I crossed across that freaking crazy freaking Brandywine, and I'm still alive, man, God was watching over me. Alright. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. Man, yeah. Interesting. Then I get up here to Strawberry Mansion. Strawberry Mansion got a freaking urban legend attached to it. I ain't explaining that one because I found that sucker was actually true. So I'm not getting into that. You have to look it up for yourself. I am not talking about that one. I didn't even think it was real. Until I looked it up one day, I was like, huh, I remember that nonsense they told me back in the day. And I was like, I want to go look that up. I was like, whoop, nope, close this page. Nope, it actually was real. So leave that alone. Oh, we need more glue. More glue. Glue and doom. Like there he is again, talking those stories again. See, this is how I see it. I see in this world, I talk about this world. That's what I talk about. I got I gotta pick the other cell phone up. I got 3 cell phones. My sister let me have them. She didn't use them anymore. She had to wipe all the information off of them. And I'm going to basically take them apart and I'm going to cyberpunk the daylights out of them, hook them up into my system over here, so that way I can run multiple displays off of it. Cyberpunk, they're going to still take a charge. They can run off Wi-Fi. Even though they're off service, they can run off Wi-Fi. Which we all know that one. Cyberpunk, my sucker. Oh. We're supposed to be doing the floor and today's Saturday, right? We don't do anything on Sunday. Let me see. I might have to do that today. What time we got here? God, it's 5 o'clock. Okay, cool. I got plenty of time to play. Where's Taco Cat at? Oh, his bunker. Taco Cat is in his bunker. You're watching TV over there somewhere. You must be totally mad. You're mad, I tell you. Absolutely mad. I'm not stand for these shenanigans. No, sir, indeed. That's gonna have to be done all in cobblestone. Why? Because you can't make a blacksmith crib out. Wait, did they make it up? We got to dig that up now. I'm gonna do mine in cobblestone. Chip, cheerio, and all that good stuff. Oh, no, we didn't do this, right? Did we trace it? We didn't trace the bottom part, the top part, not trace it. Gotta put those in, buddy. Yeah. Got a blacksmith up there. Now how we gonna make the fire blaze? Gotta put a hole right through here. Cut a small hole, cut a cap behind the back of it, like part of the chimney, and boom, push light up in that dip, making it look absolutely amazing. Yes, sirree. Yes, sirree. We're going to put lights inside of here too, which aren't hard to do at all. Period. Put the lights in here. So this one right here is, oh, forgot we got to shingle the roof. All right, let's get the shingling. Shingle Las Vegas. Vegas. Shingles, Las Vegas. That makes no sense. Not supposed to make any sense. I'm here in my own little world. At the end of the day, it's not supposed to make any sense at all. Store shingles in on the roof. I told you. Walking in the rain. It was cold outside and I'll never be the same. I'm so play that song. All right, let's get this chopping, Jack. Like that witch and legend, you know she was like, Jack. That's right, Jack. She had so much freaking force on that name, Jack. Oh, put it over there. Ooh. Compared to that other roof, I had to do a nothing compared to that thing over. That's a huge roof to put shingles in. Sheesh, look at that over there. Oh yeah, the freaking oh yeah, I still gotta finish. I got work over there. I gotta finish, man. I gotta put shingles back in that place over there. The freaking clock tower. Sheesh, that was a ton of shingles to put in. A ton of shingles, people. You have no idea. That's what I tell people. At the end of the day, run an honest business. If you don't, and you let the devil get a hand of that, I guarantee he'll make sure it falls through. He is. That's what he does. That's his job. And nobody's going to sit there and go, oh, yeah, you want to do things crooked, so that way I can bless. The devil can't bless you, can only curse you. So I can basically make things, no. If he tells you to do something involving like that, or any type of business, I guarantee you 100% the outcome is going to be bad. Because it's supposed to be. His job ain't here to make your life easy. His job is to mess you up. Already from the door. It's going to catch up to you and bite you in the face. This big guy's come on TV called Crazy Eddie. Crazy Eddie was doing something he wasn't supposed to be doing. See? He's making that money fast, but he was doing what he was supposed to be doing. Crazy Eddie's in jail. No, Crazy Eddie's dead. He died. He did die. I think he had a heart attack or something. But yeah, he went to jail for a very long time. They'll catch up to you. They were going to make sure he gets you caught. They're going to make sure he gets you caught. You got to finish the job. That's why I said don't even get involved in anything crooked like that. Outcome is not going to be good. When you get that money at the end of the day, and now you're spending the rest of your life in a prison system, you ain't got that food like that. You ain't got nothing like that. Look how fast everything changes. Look at these guys. These people got caught up in doing all this dirty stuff. Big time rappers got caught up in doing all this dirty stuff. Now look where they're at. They had at one point, they could go anywhere they wanted to go. Dancing in front of private jets. Eating at exotic restaurants. at places that most people will never even get a chance to go to. And now where they're at? In the prison system. Can't go nowhere. Can't jump on your private jet. Can't get exotic food and all this thing, buying fancy clothes and jewelry. Can't do that no more. It's all gone. For years it's gone. 50 years, 30 years, 20 years, it's gone. Just like that. That's why I said, devil's plans. They'll tell you follow me and I'll make you rich. But deep down he's saying, I'm going to condemn you. And you're going to suffer, and I'm going to laugh the entire time. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to listen to him. Everything comes with a price with him. Everything comes with a price. And look at these guys now who, at one point, was living a good life, and now they're in the prison system. All that luxury, the easy life, gone. Just like that. And the crazy part is that when you're already in there, living that life, and then you got to go to court and they sentence you like, oh, you got to be kidding me. I'm going to have to do that much time in that place? Yeah, that's when they snap. Already been there, already seen what it's like. And now I'm going to spend an additional 10 years in this place. Or additional 20 years. Or 30 years in there. Yep. So, ain't worth it. Freedom is worth so much money. And I see guys in there showing off their like commissary, what they're getting from the store and all this stuff like that. You know what I mean? So they're living the good life. You're not free. That's worth more than anything in the world. That freedom is worth more than anything in the world. And nothing can replace it. I can go out and watch the sunset if I want. If I want something, I can go leave out the store and go get something right now. Buy whatever I want. That freedom is worth so much. Yeah, for anybody inside thinking that they make it. No, I'm not making fun because I was inside myself. I got a 10-year sentence. But I did 9 months. 8 months, 9 months? 8 months and 9 months. 8 years and 9 months I did. So I didn't go on for no 1 year. I didn't go on for no 2 and 3 years. I got 10 years for that. I actually was supposed to be higher than that. It was supposed to be 40 to 80. That's what it was supposed to be. But, you know, Lord had other plans, and I got 10 years. You imagine, most people cry about 10 years. Some people cry about 7 years. Some people cry about 5 years. I was happy to get that 10 years. The best thing ever happened to me. I'll take it. Oh, no, I'll take it. I'll definitely take it. 10 years, I'll take it. Yeah. 18 years old and accepting a 10-year deal. So, yeah. I know the first thing about how precious freedom is. Most important in freedom, with freedom, peace of mind. No matter how old I get, I remember my day-to-day routine while I was there. Never forget that. Every day, looking out that window. Okay, one day, I'm going to be out there, walking out there with those people too. When I was at the Youth Study Center, boy, that was a hard one right there. That was a real hard one. I used to skate past that building every single day for the 16 years. No. We didn't play. We played hockey when we got out. We walked past that building multiple times. Yeah, I walked past that building multiple times. Let's catch the bus right across the street. And here I am locked up in this building. It's crazy. When 1 minute you were free across the street catching the bus, and the next minute you're in that place. It's crazy. It's a crazy trip. Or when they were transporting me out from one station over to the courthouse for my sentencing, and I remember when I was free at that point, I remember coming from the library, and I remember seeing the guys in shackles. They would take them out, and they would walk them in. And I remember seeing that. I was thinking to myself, man, what did you do to mess up that badly? And then that one day, I was in there too. I was watching somebody watch me on the other end. I was walking through with shackles on. I messed up. But yep, when I got free, I got everything together, I went back and revisited those places. Always remind myself, never ever make that mistake again. Or how valuable freedom is. That's why I understand how, well, I can understand that part. Some people have been out for so long, the world changed around them rapidly, and they don't know how to process it. And they go back in. Some people just do dumb stuff and go back in. Because that one guy, I'll never forget, as long as I live, this guy was out. He just got out, man. He got the revolving door process. That's what he had, the revolving door process. But man, we was all in a holding cell. And he just came out and said, I'm going out, I'm leaving out. I'm leaving. He was just in there talking about how badly he wanted to go home and see his kids. You know, he got a new baby on the way. He's going to get his life together. I'm not going to do this no more. You know, same routine. And then he got out. He let him out. And he was like, yo, see y'all later, man. Check y'all later. I'm out. All right, okay, man. Stay out of trouble, man. Stay out of trouble. And he didn't even get past the prison. He got out there. The people said they was coming out to get him. And he decided to steal a car out of the freaking prison parking lot. Not the one the car inside, when the car is outside the gate. He stole a car to get home. And we all looking at him like, that's all I can do is shake your head like, you've got to be kidding me. You just put on this whole freaking song and dance about how you can't wait to get home. And you couldn't wait an hour till your people come pick you up? Taking time to get out there. We all the way out here in Norristown. You mean to tell me you couldn't even wait? You got to be kidding me. Yeah, career criminal. Some people are just meant for it. They just can't stop themselves. I know, I got it in my family. I got one in my family. I actually got, no. I got two of them. One got life. And the other one, I don't know what happened to him, but he's inside now. He ain't coming out. I mean, this is the one, I don't know much about the other one that got the life. I don't know too much about him. But I do know that the one who ended up going back in, he can't come back out because he got a lengthy jail sentence. He got to finish it. He broke his probation. God gave him so many opportunities to get his life together, and he took none of it. None of it. God gave him multiple chances out, and he took none of it. See, got to run out of patience after a while. Keep playing that game. Do not tempt the Lord your God. Keep playing that game. He kept playing that game with him. Got in trouble the first time, they got him out. Got in trouble the second time, got him out. Got in trouble with some got out, and got more trouble again. Got in that trouble, man. He had already gotten out. They gave him probation. Stay out of trouble. You know, what did he do? He get mixed up with some bad girl. You got a thing for bad women. Hooked up with this bad female. And I'm talking about bad as in hot. I'm talking about bad as in she was trouble. And He had a nice place, man. He had a nice little apartment. But I heard 2 nice cars, a dog, and a really good job too on top of that. How many people come out like that when you come out of lockup? He did. And got hooked up with this female, and she got him to break his probation. She got him to go across the state line. They out there driving and racing up and down in some small little town. Last place you want to be at, trust me. We breaking the law. And he's up there racing back and forth with her, carrying on. And sure enough, there's a trooper sitting up there watching the whole thing go down. And they bumped her car, and she spun out, but she didn't get arrested because she was of a different color. I'm sorry, but it's true. That's what happened. But him, on the other hand, when they bumped this car, and this car spun, he was trying to get away because, he was on probation. And this car spun out. They didn't even bother coming over to the car. They poured out rubber bullets, and he sprayed the whole car with rubber bullets. And he got busted up really bad. His arm got tore up in the process. And they stuck him in a cell, gave no medical attention. And his arm went rotten. And even when it was smelling, they still didn't do nothing about it. Because he was in a little small town. I'm not saying all small towns are this way, so don't take it wrong, but this is what happened in this one. And by the time they went to go pick him up, his arm was pretty much mostly, he was in a lot of pain. He was blacking out back and forth. And they rushed him to the hospital, and he lost it. And ended up suing. Lawyers came in, and they sued. They sued everybody. And ended up getting a heavy, heavy settlement. They dropped all charges. Yep. Even though he went out and messed up, and they dropped them charges. But anyway, this is right around the time when COVID was about to kick in. And he still was told that he had to have a job. Regardless, you still did this, whatever, you know what I mean? We're going to lighten these charges up for you. We're going to let you back out in the street. But what you're going to do is you're going to get a job. I don't care what you got paid at the end of the day. You're going to report to your probation officer. You're going to show him your hours and what you're doing. So that's what he was supposed to do. But, got caught up with another bad woman again. I think it might have been the same one. I'm not even sure. But anyway. And long story short, they went through all that money. And I told you about how my mom was sending them up $300 a month. You get $300 a month on your books? $300 a month on your books? That's a lot of money. Man, he could start a whole business in there. That's what I was telling him. To stop sending him money because he's starting a business in there. He needed money for books, and he was in church. He was in the Lord when I was in church. And I needed for books and stuff like that. You know, with the state pays for all that. They pay for everything. Anything extra you want, that's coming out of your pocket. But anything like that, they pay for all that stuff. Your education, all that stuff, they'll pay for all that. They ain't paying for anything extra. But my mom, that's a grandson, like we can't tell her nothing. Her mind is made up. She's sending him the money. He promised her that when he get out, he gonna help her out with this settlement money. Get the summer money coming in, because they still had to do. I don't know what they had. They had to do something. He got dropped. The charges got dropped on that side. On the other side, he still broke probation. So I think he had some time, something he had to do. It wasn't a lot of time. They had to do like a year or something. It was something he gave him a year or something. But it wasn't what he was supposed to get because of what happened. But anyway, she was sending the money up. And when he got out, they cut that check. And he didn't give her a dime. He didn't give her nothing at all. Not a thing. He didn't call her, didn't talk to her, didn't write to her, nothing at all. He wrote to her every day when he was in there. But he did. He did my mom dirty. Yep. Best family at the end of the day. But man, it kept everything I had from going up there and snatching his head off his shoulders. Because man, I was thinking about it. I was thinking about going up there and see him. But my mom was like, no, just leave it be, She's a very peaceful person. Leave it be, he's just going to have to deal with it when the time comes. And sure enough, he did deal with it. Evil woman came his way, and all that money got spent. And he didn't have a dime to show for it. And COVID kicked in. And when COVID kicked in, he couldn't get a job. Remember, they shutting everything down because of COVID. That's what happened when the shutdown went through. And he couldn't get a job. And when he went back to see that probation officer, they locked him up and sent him back in. So then, before my mom passed off the earth, he was sending her, writing her letters, asking her for money. And my sister caught all of it. She caught all the the letters that were coming through, and she had them redirected someplace else. Yep. Isn't that interesting? So now he's in there. He's in there all through COVID. He's in there. He ain't coming out. Look at that. Mom didn't ask for much. She didn't even want her money back. He promised her a camera. He promised her a camera and something else he promised her, but that's all she wanted. She's not a greedy person. She didn't want the money back. She wanted a camera. That's all she wanted. She got to take pictures of birds. He didn't get her jack. He didn't even talk to her or cut her clean off. So now that's just how it is. Got to treat people with respect. She's a Christian woman too, a good Christian woman. Can't be treating God's people that way. And that woman, well, she disappeared. She don't call him and don't talk to him, nothing while he's in there. Got him clean off. It's in the letter that he wrote. Now she abandoned him and left him. I'm pretty sure she was smart enough to save that money that he was giving her. She nest egged it. Because usually, that's most likely, I guarantee what happened. They spent that money, had fun, but I guarantee you that she nest egged a good portion of that money for herself, just in case. Because she knew they was going to run through the money and end up with nothing. She bought cars and trucks and all kinds of stuff with it. Don't burn your family. You need your family. I don't care. At the end of the day, you need your family. Don't burn your family. They may be jerks. They may get on your nerves on the holiday. But at the end of the day, they family. I got family members right now that we try to communicate with them, but they don't want to be bothered with. We had that split. My mother said it was going to happen. She was not joking. She said, that's why she said she wanted to be cremated, because arguments and fights would break out. You know what I mean? We got ones in the family that they make very good money. They make extremely good money. And they kind of show off all the time. They brag about how much money they make. They're braggers. What they are. And they all are greedy. They're greedy for more money. They can have more money, but they want more money. I asked them, like, why would you want more if you already have what you need? If you have everything you need to be comfortable, why would you need more? Because I can get more. That's literally their excuse. They like that. They will sell you down the soul, sell your soul for some money. And they already have it. They got good careers, going to college, made good money, got good jobs, and they still want more. Never enough. So my mother asked for us to basically to be cremated because she knew about them. She knew what was going to happen. And sure enough, here they come in the funeral home, pushing everybody around. We're going to pay for this. We're going to pay for that. No, she's not being cremated. This is what we're going to do. And it caused a rift. Because I know what my mother wanted. I was with my mother on her last days. They weren't there. They never came around to see my mom. Never. My mom's birthday, nowhere to be found. Christmas, nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. But the minute my mom passed away, now we pop up. Now we bossing everybody around. That's when I sat at that table, man. It took everything I had to keep from beating the daylights out of my brother. I was going to kill him at that table. It took everything I had to keep from doing it. He's sitting there ranting, and all of a sudden everything went quiet. I couldn't even hear anything. All I could see was his mouth moving. I thought I was going to trigger. I was going to mess him up. And the first thing I looked at, I saw the window. I was going to throw him through the window. Yep, head first, right through that window. Because my sister saw me looking at him, and it might change, like my whole expression changed, and I was staring at that window. I was going to drag him out there and throw him right through the window. Judo throw right through that window. And where he would have landed, yeah, if I got him on the ornaments. Right. When I first came in, I saw the huge, what was it? Huge flower pots they had out there. I made a comment, said, those are nice. They're right next to the window. If I had tossed him out that window, he'd have landed right on him. It'd have probably killed him. But, you know, my mother passed away, and then you freaking jokers show up at the end of the day, bossing everybody around, telling people to do this and do that, and blah, blah this and blah, blah that, putting people on the spot, talking about people's business, you know what I mean, trying to be nasty about it. And then Y'all never there. Y'all never there. We was never there. You weren't even there when my mother passed away. You weren't even there. And you got nerve to be bossing people around. And then he made some statement to me at the table, and that's when everything went quiet in my head. And my sister patted me on the shoulder and said, "Come on, it's time to go." And she knew it. She said, "I saw that look. I saw what you were going to do." I said, "You knew you were going to hurt him." I said, "I was going to hurt him. I was going to mess him up." Until then, we don't speak no more. I don't hate him. I had explained to him, look, I said, at the end of the day, I don't hate you. You know what I mean? You're always going to be family to me. But at this particular point, on the way you guys are acting, I got to cut you off. I ain't got a choice. So I don't hate him. I got no hatred for him. If he ever came to me, I'm always got his back. I'm always with him. But I can't be with him, around him. He's going to cause me to lose it. So, and then the other one started doing some weird stuff too. She started doing some weird stuff. They're trying to sue the hospital. That's what they're trying to do. Say that it was the hospital's fault for my mother's death. It wasn't, because we're the ones who actually signed off on letting her go. There was no point in letting her suffer like that. It was time for her to go home. So I did what I had to do. And they wanted her to get surgery. They wanted her to suffer. I wasn't going to have it. She wanted to go home. I did what I had to do. That's a hard decision. You have to make that decision. Let your mother go. But I couldn't stand seeing her like that. And she was, when her last, when they took the tubes and everything out of her, and she smiled. She went home. And them jokers had to come in there carrying on and acting up. And the other one didn't even cry. Nothing. Cold-hearted. Took everything I had to keep from taking his life. I swear, I came so close to it. I was so heated, I couldn't believe it. Like, I just couldn't believe it. And I had to calm myself down and I didn't even want to get in the car with none of them. I walked home. I couldn't deal with them. I didn't want to snub them no more. So when we had our, half of the family felt my way and the other half felt the other way. That we should have cremated. That's what she wanted. So I didn't go to the funeral. I didn't go to the funeral because of them. I didn't go to the funeral because she ain't there no more. I told her from the door, I'm not going to go there because she's not there. She went home. I saw her on her last days. She went home. So we had a birthday party for her. A celebration for a new life. I got closure. I'm good. But the rest of them, they can't get it. And they're mad because now they want money. They want to sue. Somebody talked to a lawyer and they want to sue the hospital and they want to get money. So what is it about? Is it about my mother or is it about money now? But the only person who got those documents is a family member and they're not giving them up. And they tried everything to get those documents. They tried to reach out to people in the family to get her to turn on her. She said no. They tried everything, even forged your handwriting at one point. And she called him. Yeah, she got it. She called him and she had a conversation and said, look, this is what's going to happen. If you bring this up anymore, I'm filing charges. Yep. So, yeah. Greedy. That greedy for money. You're going to forge my sister's handwriting in order to release some records, which they couldn't do. You got to go show photo ID. They try to do it online. Man, I tell you. Dirty. Yep. But the important thing is, I don't hate him in no way. Because the last message I sent to him, which was about a year ago, I said, I don't hate you. You're always going to be family. But right now, I can't be with you in this state that you're in. Is that for that? And from time to time, when the holidays come up, I send them a happy Thanksgiving, stuff like that, you know. And they never respond back. They're angry. They're mad. Don't want to speak to us anymore. We don't show no hatred for them. Yep. And that's the reason why she stated she wanted to be cremated. Because you know what's going to happen. the fight was going to break out between us and them. Now family's split down the middle. But it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. You just have to wait for God to deal with them and they can come back around. One of them actually is coming around. She's been talking more and she apologized and stuff like that. So that's good. But the other one, no, he's a stubborn one. There you go. So they were like, well, why didn't he come to the funeral? Because I said, you need to be there. She ain't there. You can understand if you can understand the spiritual and Christian part about death. I mourn and have my time, and I did, but I'm not going to a funeral when she's not there anymore. She went home. We had a birthday party to celebrate her new life with Jesus, with God. She went home. It's a happy situation for her to be where she's at because she went home, where she's supposed to do. She's a Christian. But the rest of them are sad and bitter about it. So they don't understand that part. And they can't understand why I'm like that. I said, well, you know, she went home. Why would I be upset about her going to see living with Jesus right now? Why be upset about that? She got no more pain. She can't suffer no more. She's happy. Why would I be upset and bitter about that? That's a wonderful thing. I pray I'll be worthy enough one day to go over. You know, Lord watched over me, even when I was upset with my brother, and that thought came over my head to hurt him. Yeah, Lord was watching over me. And my sister got up and patted me on the shoulder, and I came out of it, and she said, "Come on, let's go." And she said, "Want to lift?" I said, "No, I'm gonna walk it." That's what I did. Walk back. Went right back to the office. Went to work. Got on camera and explained what happened to my life when my mother passed away. So, I'll continue to go back to work. It is hard to do holidays, but you know, she would want us to be happy, so that's what she would want. I didn't been to the burial site either. No point in me being there. They wanted to have some old get together with family and this, that, and the other. I'm like, no, you know, I'll see y'all later on, but I'm not going there. She's not there. When I pass off this earth, you better cremate me, because I am not going to be buried anywhere. Just throw me out somewhere. I don't know. I don't care. It's a body. I don't care. I'm not going to be there. What do I care? You know, save the money. Do something else with it. Donate to charity or something. But I don't want no long service or none of that. That's how my mother wanted it. No long service. With this family, that's it. Come in. That's it. That's done. I'm going. I'm on home. But they're having a conversation with Jesus. Conversation with God. I'm good. Take that money and do something else with it. Go to Disney World or something. I don't know. Don't need all that. When the jokes I crack, like, don't put me in the ocean because I don't like water. And be like, that's funny. But anyway, yep. We don't need no hearse. We need none of that. Jesus said that the dead bury the dead. Celebrate the dead, celebrate the living. Man, yeah. Oh, looks like I gotta be done. I've been at the churches, how they have shingles on. Like, ooh, why don't people go up there and do it? I don't know how y'all do it. You're freaking me out, man. There's no way in the world. I'm pretty sure you got a safety harness on while you're up there. But the first ones didn't have safety harnesses. Now I gotta look that up now. I'm curious. Did they have safety harnesses when they shingled roofs back in the day? Did anyone do safety harnesses? Curious about that now. I gotta go look that up. Did we with harnesses? Now, I still got people in the family saying, "Oh, she's looking down on us right now." Like, no, she's not looking down. You don't even know what you don't know us. And had that conversation multiple times, and they get mad at me about it, like, "Oh no, you're just no." How would she even know us at the end of the day? The whole point of being in heaven is happiness, joy, peacefulness. You know how upset Mom would be if she looked over and see the dumb stuff that some of these people are doing in the family right now? How angry that would make her at the end of the day? Because you always want the family to be together. You know how angry that would make her? That means that anger and upset would carry into heaven. And if that carries into heaven, the Lord says in heaven, there is no sorrow, there's no pain, there's no suffering, there's nothing in there. There's nothing but joy and happiness. How in the world would she be able to see us and see what we're going through or what's happening to us down here? She would bring that sorrow back to heaven. She doesn't know us. She doesn't know anything about us anymore. She's in a whole different state now. She knows nothing at all. And that's why I tell people at the end of the day, when your loved ones pass on, they don't know you anymore. They're gone. That's it. And people think, oh, they're just what? No. They're gone. They don't know you anymore. Especially if they went to heaven, they don't know you anymore. You will see. They will remember your face again. When you go to heaven, you see them, they will know you. But right now in this world, they don't know you. We're in a cursed world right now. They don't know you. God's not going to bring any harm for them at the end of the day. They will know no misery, no suffering, no pain. So if that's the case, how would they know us when we're in this cursed world? If someone got hurt in this world that they knew, you know the pain that would bring to them, that they would feel in heaven? That's why. They don't know us. They're in a whole different world. They'll be given the promise of peace and happiness. They will never know this world ever again. And have no memory of it in any way whatsoever. Only God sees, that's it. They don't see. So I explained that to them several times. When people sit there and say that I'll see you again in heaven, that's if you're worthy enough to go. That's if you're worthy enough to make it to the kingdom of God. That's not your decision. That'll be God's decision whether or not you're worthy enough. If you don't pick up your cross and you don't follow Jesus, then you're not going. At least I got a chance to show her at the end before that I got myself together. And I got saved. Because I was out there running in that world, carrying on and acting up. You know, she was scared to death that I was going to be killed out there and I would never get saved. And when I came out of lockup and I got myself together and I got baptized, she got a chance to witness all that. She got a witness to see her son change his life. So I'm happy I gave her that. Here's medieval music. I want to play some Assassin's Creed. And we figure what we're going to do on Christmas time for some of the stubborn ones that don't want to bend. When we were kids, my mother used to give us this old-fashioned hard candy. It was shaped like rockets and rocking horses and stuff like that. It was an old-fashioned candy. We found the place. Found out at a farmer's market. They still make it. So we're going to send up everybody one of those bags. So we keep doing stuff like that to remind them that I know the devil will get in their head and say, oh, they hate you. They can't stand you. And we keep reminding at the end of the day, we don't hate you at the end of the day. We don't. Got to come home. Don't let the devil fill you full of hatred for somebody, because he'll make sure you can't come home. Got a family member that you don't get along with? Try to work it out with them. If you can't work it out with them, then you give it to God, and God will work it out. Let me see. Never let that pride take over where you feel that you don't want to apologize to them and they don't want to apologize to you, and don't let that get involved in that. Don't let the devil steal that from you. I gotta paint too when I get done this. I gotta paint the grass and all that stuff in there. I'm gonna get one of the detail jobs done on one of the places, and I gotta do the church. I'm gonna do that one on Monday. Churches are more interesting. The church is gonna be has to be done with these little cobblestones. Yeah, I gotta make out of cardboard. Like we did the tavern over there. Gonna be revisiting the tavern this week. Then we'll finish the rest of the work in there. Got some fabric that I'm going to turn into some drapes. See? Oh, an ice cream float. I haven't had one. So next time, eat one and don't eat two of them like I did last time. They didn't go well. Don't be greedy. For me, it's not to be greedy. But I'm gonna get me ice cream float, some root beer, and some ice cream. Man, this is jury. This music is so... I like some of it, but sheesh. Man. Let me see. Upbeat music, medieval, copyright free. What was I hearing from me? Not evil. Gracious, they're giving me evil music. Like, are you kidding me? Upbeat, copyright free, medieval music. I don't even want to know what that's about. Evil music. Did you put that on copyright free? Oh, you jerks. That's not cool. They put everything in it except for when I said copyrights. Copyright free, upbeat, medieval music? What part are you not hearing on this microphone? Are you kidding me? Come on, don't be a jerk. Copyright free, upbeat, medieval music. Oh, you got it. Man, argue with that thing, man. I can't stand when Google goes, don't you mean? No, if I wanted that, I would have asked for that. He'll spell it. You see it on a spelling checker. You know how it's supposed to be spelled. And the machine will sit there and spell it the way it thinks it should be spelled. Like, no, this is not even what I asked for. How do we even come to this? But don't you mean? There's going to be a day when you get into an argument with your refrigerator. It is coming. I could see that one coming. Refrigerator is designed to teach you self-control. Bob, didn't you just have a pizza? Yeah, I just had a pizza. Do you think it would be wise to have another pizza? Why don't you do me a favor and mind your business, and I'm going to have this pizza. I'm sorry, I cannot allow you to have that pizza. The refrigerator is going down on shutdown. You don't have access to it for 24 hours. Yeah, watch. You'll be arguing with your appliances, watch. People think it's cool at first. I'm like, oh my goodness, I can have a talk with my microwave. I've done that, so you can say that. I can have a conversation with my microwave. You know, asking me how I'm doing. This is for extremely lonely people. I can see it right now. That is literally for extremely lonely people. There are people at the end of the day, I hate to put it this way, that, I don't know, they just can't be satisfied with themselves. Sorry. Allergy and emotions. But anyway, they can't be satisfied with themselves. Some people can't be by themselves. They just can't. They'll go crazy. They have to have some kind of companionship. Ears clogged on that one. Some kind of companionship, someone to be around, someone that I don't get that one at all. That's just me. But there are people just like me on YouTube, because I watch their tutorial videos on why they're like that, and they're just satisfied by just being by themselves. They really do. Some people really do like being by themselves. We don't like to go out and hang with people and all this stuff like that. We just like to be by ourselves. You know, we have our own thing we work on. We got projects and hobbies and stuff like that. We just don't have time for other people. We just like being with ourselves. That's it. But you got other people who need that recognition from another person. They need that. And they can never be alone. They feel they're alone. They get sad and depressed and all that stuff. And I'm like, you know, they have to have somebody to share their world with. These are the people that should never go to outer space. You would not last up there. You would go nuts up there. Me, I could take solitude. I'm good. I got plenty of stuff to keep me occupied, as you can see. But yeah, I know people like that. They always gotta be in a relationship. They always gotta be taking pictures of their whoever they're dating, and pictures of this and pictures of that, and doing all this stuff together. And I'm like, okay. And then there are other people who just better like sit out there in the middle of the park and just be left alone and be entertained. Different types. Those are the ones that definitely will have a talking toaster. But I'll have someone that can talk to me when I come home. I don't want anybody talking to me when I go home. I don't want anybody. The one person I have a conversation with is my cat. That's it. And once in a while, my people will call me to see if I'm still kicking. You know what I mean? Which I'm cool by that, you know what I mean? Or see what I'm doing or what I'm up to. That's it. So most likely in my world, I get a phone calls from people. Not business, but people. 3 people. That's it. Just 3. Unless I decide to call them. If I call somebody, then I call them. Once in a while, yeah, just 3 people. Just only rings my phone. That's it. You hear my phone ringing now? Nope. I like that. I would love that because I can sit there in my room and just chill. Got the room. Now, if it does ring, that's chances are it's one of my closest family members. Contact me, see if I'm okay. That's it. Other than that, nope. Quiet as can be. I like it that way. Nice and quiet. And once in a while, this guy gets up and goes, round, round. Heavens to Murgatroyd. Heavens to Murgatroyd. How about Heavens to Murgatroyd? Heavens to Murgatroyd. That's basically about it. Me and my buddy Talk. That's it. TikTok. Ooh, taco and TikTok. And when I get my little piece of land, I'm going to get myself a Highlander cow, which I always wanted one of them. And get myself a dog, because he wants a dog, and I do want a dog. And they're right, Talk. He's getting up right now. He's coming out of his little place right now. His little cave. What's going on, Talk? Taco Denario, get over here. 10,000 kisses, raw. 10,000 kisses, Taco Denario. How dare you deny me my 10,000 kisses? How dare you? How dare you deny me my 10,000 kisses? Ooh, wow. Having some Murgatroyd. Having some Murgatroyd, Taco. Having some Murgatroyd. Heavens to Murgatroyd. Is your TV off again? Where the frick is your remote control at? Oh, well, it's all over here. I got you, buddy. Yeah. One giant leap for mankind and whatever. Hooah! Ooh, there you go. How are you doing today? Pretty eyes. Whatever that's going to do, what it's got to do. When we get this done, I want to do it for my screen. I'll get you back on it. Oh. As far as it's being moody. So my friend basically has to have companionship, and I can be left alone. It's like, how? How do you do? Like, how do you? I say, yeah, I'm just nothing but myself at the end of the day. I know she's having herself, but she has to have somebody always in her life. Always in her life. I'm like, nope, I can do everything by myself. Some people gotta have somebody go to movies by myself, everything by myself. I don't go to movies, period. I build this stuff. What the freak do I need movies for? Go to movies for. Shit takes me ever to watch a movie. I got movies on my account right now I still haven't even watched yet. It takes me forever. Because I'll be sitting here working on watching a movie like, I wonder if we could build that. And the next thing you know, I'm online researching how to put it together, put the movie on pause, never come back to it. Matter of fact, there was a movie I was supposed to watch. It was called Bad Bosses 2. I never got around to watching it. Maybe one day, I don't know. My brain's always someplace else. Hey, Taco Bird. Taco Bird. Taco Bird. Hey, Taco Bird. Got my last name. Taco Bird. What's up, Birdie Bird? Taco Bird. What's going on with you, Taco Bird? What you up to, Taco Bird? Dates. That's funny. Yep. I like to go to the restaurant, eat, got my table, go chill, put on my TV show, throw my headsets on, be in my own little world. See, a couple come in, older couple, young couple come in, and they're kissing her. I'm like, oh, that's so cute. Most people see that, they'll be like, oh, I wish I had that. And I'd be like, oh, heck no, I ain't going near that ever again, man. I'm happy where I'm at. But yeah, but I appreciate what they have. Beautiful. I saw somebody today. I don't know if he was military. He was military. He was, because there's a bunch of them down here today. So she was out there waiting. I remember I went to the store. She was out there waiting. And I had to go pick up something. When I came back, there was a car out there, and she was on top of him, hugging him. He was must have been military, because there's a lot of them down here today. I saw a bunch of them down here today. They were Dunkin' Donuts, and stuff like that. But anyway, she was hugging him. That must be her boyfriend from the military. That is so beautiful. I said, I can appreciate that. I find that beautiful. But it's not my world today. I like to be by myself. But I think that's beautiful. It is really beautiful. I don't sit there and go, oh, that's going to suck when they break up. No, it's a beautiful thing. I'm happy for them. They got each other. That's great. But me, I like to be left out freak alone. I like to build and work on my projects, work on my giant toy train, which we're about to get another train pretty soon. Another train. I'm going to do networking for my trains. I'm learning it. Network my train. Chugga chugga choo choo. Yes. I'll get myself another train. Another smoker. The Pennsylvania, baby. The Pennsylvania. I'll have to get that pretty soon. The Pennsylvania. Chugga chugga choo choo. Hey, there's a gap in there, Ken. You got to take that out. You got to fix that gap first, because if we put lights in there, it's going to push out to the side. Ain't that right, Taco Bear? That's right, Daddy-O. Technically, not alone. I have Jesus Christ and my cat. That's all that matters. I got a bunch of family, too, on top of that. A whole lot of family. There we go. Put that roof up in there, Master Carpenter. Let's install in the roof. Not the roof, sorry, the part of the wall. Which should be right up in here. One time this college girl was living next door to me. She was one of those hopelessly romantic type at the end of the day. And she came, I was out there with my pit bulls, and she was like, you ever get lonely being over there? I was like, no, not really. I'm over here with my dogs all the time. I'm good. She's like, but you never think about love? I was like, love is for the weak. Look on her face, man. That was priceless, man. She's like, don't you ever think about love? Love is for the weak. Oh, man. Funny. Nah, I can't get into that. I'm past that stage now. I'm at the stage of leave me the heck alone. Let me live inside my world and by myself. Round. That's where I want to be at. Buy my giant train sets. Build my giant gaming simulators, my BRs, all my toys at the end of the day. I like my life the way it is. At the end of the day, like literally. How did this ever come about you? It's like you may have a problem at the end of the day. I mean, if you get angry with somebody else because they're living their life and they just don't want to be bothered and all that other nonsense, you know, they're chilling, living in their own world, and you're upset by that, that means there's something wrong with your world at the end of the day. My world's going hunky-dory. Hunky-dory, people. Hunky-dory. So, that's you. I think you may have a long talk with your other, because that seems like that's you. You're mad at me because I'm living my life the way they're talking about, because I'm free. That means that's you at the end of the day is having that issue. My brothers don't do that. My brothers all know at the end of the day that I'm single. I stay to myself. But they're all married with kids and all. They don't sit there and go, oh, you're lucky because so and such. No, they love their life. They love their family life. Yep. And I don't look at them at the end of the day and say, oh, you're a bunch of suckers at the end of the day because you chose to basically get hooked up and be trapped in a marriage and you just no, I never said that. I said, man, you got a fantastic family going on over here. This is pretty cool. That's not for me. I can appreciate other people and their lives and leave my life alone and let me appreciate mine. Because people will be trying to fix you up like, oh, I got this friend. No, don't do that. Don't do that, Martha. I will cut you off in a hot second. I will cut you the freak off, Martha. Got this friend. The part that kills me is when people send you random Facebook requests, like out of nowhere. Like, you don't even know these people. They send you random Facebook requests. Where the freak did that come off at? Random ones. And especially women that send it to you. Like, I have no idea what goes through a human being's mind sometimes. I just wonder sometimes. You just got to think what is going on in that brain of theirs. But you look on their account, it'd be a ton of dudes and their freaking friends in their friendship thing. It'd be a bunch of dudes in their friend list. Be a bunch of guys in there. First of all, not even interested. But second of all, just to go in there and just see a whole bunch of dudes in there. Look at these people that are they suckers, man. They're getting caught up in this nonsense. You don't even know if you're talking to a female or not. It could be a picture of a woman. It could be a dude on the other end. You talking about being thirsty? Thirsty, man. Because they walk through the desert with a horse with no name. It feels good to get out of the rain. See, that's being extra thirsty, man. Super thirsty. Women do it too. Women be thirsty. They be super thirsty. Super thirsty. They just be thirsty. You got women waiting for they want to get pregnant and have a baby because the clock is ticking down. Time is a ticking. Time waits for no one. And they want to have a family and all this other stuff, you know. You ever heard the story about Connie Chung and all them? What happened with her? Yeah, see, she let her career get a hold of her. See, at the end of the day, she was with this dude. They're both newscasters. They made it to anchor. They're making the big money. But it got to the point that they didn't want to basically have a family yet. They thought they had one later on. And sure enough, time took over, and she can't have a kid. But they can adopt. You know, still adopt. But she can't have her own child. Because, you know, her body decided to go, no. She got too old. Which I don't get that one. My mom had her last child at 50. But it depends on the person, I guess. That's what it depends on the person. But, yeah. If you wait too long, you won't see them grow up. If you do it too young, you're not financially stable to be able to pay for it. But it works out. If it didn't, be nobody on the earth. So they figured it out somehow. Some people have them young and they become a young grandmother. And they still do a good job of raising their kids. Do an excellent job raising their kids. I find the ones that are hilarious to watch, that they're short and their kids are taller than they are. I was like, man, like, what happened? You grew up. You grew up. Yeah, it's funny. I got a couple of friends that are really short and their kids are really, really tall. It's funny watching them talk to them. It's hilarious. So I'm not too big to put you on my lap. I'm gonna cry. Yeah. I think that's adorable. Kids are bigger than you. We got that side. One of my brother's kids, this kid's like Gears of War. They're big. They're not like fat, they're big. They're like something like 6 something and 250. They play football. Most of them play football. They're big. I'm like, look, you got Gears of War in your kitchen. They're huge. One wears a size 22 in a sneaker. So imagine the size of him. 22 in a sneaker. I knew that body had to catch up to that head sooner or later. We laugh about that to this day. Like, he had a full size, 3 years old or 5 years old. He had a full size adult head at 5 years old. Finally, his body caught up to him. I'm like crying, like, dude. At one point, I thought your neck was gonna basically collapse. Mucho Grande. That's his nickname he gave me. Great head. Mucho Grande. Yep, his head caught up to him. His body caught up to him. A walking candy apple. Yep, he was a walking candy apple. One time we was a family get together, and I guess he was sleeping late because he worked late that night. We had to go pick up something. His mom wanted to go pick up something, and to drive out there and get it. We went in the room to go see him because we haven't seen him in a while. My nephew went to go see him, and I tripped over something. I'm like, oh my goodness, yo, look at this. Look at the size of his shoe. I could kill a man with this. 22. It was the size 22. That's a big freaking shoe. I could kill a man with this. I was in there crying, man. I had to put him on. I had to put his boots on and walk around the house. He had Timberlands. I had to walk around and I was like, look at these things, man. Size 22. So you don't go out in the woods, man. Don't go out in the woods. Someone's going to track you. I think there's Bigfoot out in the woods. Size 22. Jeez. So how much you pay for these things, man? You know you paid for a pretty penny for them. Timberlands ain't cheap, especially when you got to pay that extra size. I mean, that probably cost them a good extra $50 more for that. I was in there crying. I was like, look at these freaking earth stompers. Them suckers were huge. 22s. He was like, well, you know, it cost me more when I got to buy clothes. You know how that works. Man. He's almost 7 feet. Almost 7 feet. The other one is 7 feet. He's 7'2". 172. That's the baby. The baby's 7'2". They're tall and big. Yep. I have no idea what he's wearing in his shoe. Probably the same almost as him as the other one. I was like, I can kill a man with this shoe. Look at this. I put it in my hand and knock you out. Yep. Another interesting one of my brother's kids. We was in there crying. We had to, the room was dark. We had to go in and knock on the door. We went to see him. We just got there for the family get together. I was like, where's he at? He said, oh, he's in the back sleeping. I said, oh, really? Okay, cool. We'll go right there and see him. I tripped over that board. Look at the size of this thing. Look at this. I can kill a man with this. I said, really? I said, hold on. Where the other one at? I'm going to rock these suckers. I put them on, over about my sneakers up and walked around in them. I said, look at this. This is insane. And the other one comes in. He's 6 feet, 6'4". The other one's almost near 7 feet. There's another one there. He's roughly 6'9". All like that. And they're big. They're not thin. Because you think they're thin. No, they're big. And lift weights and all that stuff. All these weights and stuff. They play football. Lift weights and everything. Oh, jeez. All plays football. Oh, why not? They're funny as I don't know what. All three of them. But, yep. And my brother's not tall, by the way. Which is not too weird on that one. Not too weird on that one. Because my father was 5 feet and my mother was 4'11", and I'm 5'11", so you figure that one. That's pretty cool. I thought about that. No, he's 5 feet. My mom's 4'11". So you take 11 inches from my mom, take the 5 from my father, and get 5'11". Ha ha ha! I just figured it out. That's so freaking funny. Ha 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 ha! I made it funny. I have made a funny. She's a knee slapper. Knee slapper. Like the knee slapper. Alright, bam. Getting this all hooked up. We get the out trim for that. The trim's right there. Got to trim a little bit on that roof a little bit. Get a little trim on that roof. A little trimmy trim. This is one of the easier ones. Because, man, that church is going to be something else. The church and, oh, man, I forgot that. Well, no, we actually almost done with that. We did a lot of detail with that. We shingle that? No, we didn't shingle it. So we got to shingle that one. That one on the far end got to be shingled. Shingle, 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 shingle. Ugh. I say the one right now we mostly got all the shingles on is the mill. We did the mill. But the mill has to have some extra paddles put on. I'm looking at it right now. But anyway, yeah. Talk about your height. My height is my height. That's all you need to know, Daddy-O. Daddy-O. Taco-Yo and Daddy-O. All right. Really? Here's, I like this thin cardboard. I'm going to have to figure out how to get more of this thin cardboard. This thin cardboard is the truth. It's good when you make the whatchamacallit's on it, the trim. The trim is nice. I like this trim. Round top. Oh, look at you with your legs crossed. Look at your legs crossing like the distinguished gentleman. Why do you start crossing your legs like that? That's pretty cool. You little distinguished gentleman crossing your legs. Why are your socks so wide? Come over here. I'm going to touch your feeties. Can I touch your feeties? He crosses his legs. I just realized that. Look at distinguished gentleman. How distinguished are y'all? Round. Doc, I'm about to put your picture in the castle. I'll build our castle. Oh, Taco. Oh. Looking like a little distinguished. Look at little balls. Are so cute. I'm pretty balls. I want to take your balls. I take them. You strong. And your furry paws. You the furry paws. Denario. Roberto. Rodriguez. You answer none of them? Taco. Yes, none of them. Jeez, you know what? You and your shenanigans. You ain't gonna answer none of them? Oh, now you're gonna answer the cameras in your face. Taco. Denario. Roberto. Rodriguez. Look at that. He just didn't know what I know. Bird. Taco Bird? Taco Bird. Call in Taco Bird. Ain't gonna have none of my. Look. How you funny? You too much. Look. Now it's funny because the whole time he'll turn his head. Cats are funny as don't know what. He'll turn his head and not listen to anything I gotta say. And then when I turn with the camera off, he looks at me. You ain't playing them sucker games, buddy. I ain't playing them sucker games. Who you think you playing with, son? You gotta understand, right? Who you think you playing with, son? We don't play them games. Over here, trying to make me look like an embarrassment on YouTube. How dare you? How dare you? I'll sue you with my lawyers. How dare you? You ain't having that. That's funny, no matter what. Because you didn't buy a domain name. You should have bought the domain name. That's what you should have did. Why didn't you buy the domain name? Who the freak sets up a business without buying the domain name first? That's the first thing you do buy is a domain name. Or someone else grabbed it. I love these commercials that come on in between here. Dude, like I had a domain name. I started a business. I didn't even basically buy the domain name. And someone took it. Ah, really? And the person that gets me says, and they took my name and they did the same bit and they made lots of money. That's bullcrap. The bottom line is, you're not even guaranteed for your business to start up just like that. Anybody gonna start a business, the boom automatically start making millions of dollars. It doesn't work that way. That's like somebody basically investing in freaking Robinhood, a stock in Robinhood, and automatically gonna say boom and make money that fast. That's what happens. People go on Robinhood, and some people you hear about the rare stories about people blowing up and getting a really good stock. But then majority, most of the time, people expecting to get rich overnight on Robinhood. Robinhood's a learning experience. That's what I did. I went on Robinhood, I took $100, I spread it out for 1 year. 1 year gave me enough information on the stock fluctuation, if it's going to give me dividends, how much it's going to give me back, if it's going to be a stock where if it drops, how much money am I going to lose. All that research in 1 year. That's what you have to do. If you want to people trying to make money real fast, forget it. It ain't going to happen. Just pull your money out of the account, leave it at that. But then when you figure out which one is basically going to make the money, which like NVIDIA, I pulled everything out. NVIDIA was giving me better dividends. Even when the stock dropped, NVIDIA was still maintaining. It was just a good stock. So I just took all my money off everything else and put it in NVIDIA. That's how I did mine. But if you expect them to make, really? I can't get a moment on here, man. Looking at outlets. What the freak is wrong with you? Yeah, cut that out, man, weirdo. Look at what the freak cat licks outlets. Tastes like electrocution. Jeez. You want cashing on none of your lives, right? Keep on playing around with freaking Mr. Electricity over there. Oh, now he's fighting inside his box. He's in another, that's another battle box. Yeah, I'm gonna move that box away from there. Your temptation is just too much over there with that. Look at the outlets. I told my sister about that. She was like, what? I said, yeah, he licks outlets. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I've never had a cat do that before. I gotta really put some child caps on her now. Tastes like electrocution, doesn't it? Don't just stay away from that, for goodness sakes. So all these ones are covered up. The screen's covering them up. I gotta shove my projectors in front of them, stuff like that. Because this guy will lick an outlet. That's like telling somebody, hey, lick this fork and stick it right in there and see what happens. Yeah! Don't do that ever. My channel's only set up for adults only. If you basically follow those, at the end of the day, it's something you're done. That's it. That's just, we're finished. Like the whole thing about, oh, that was pretty hot. He shot that right across the front and right inside that bucket. Perfect shot. Now you get in a fight with a blanket. Fight with something over there. Wow. Yeah, he's going extra giddy now. They're fighting with it. I want to see the thing. A lot of time, man. I bought those toys for you, man. Take those toys. Take a lot of toys. Yeah, that's in right now. I caught a mouse in here one time. We get him here from time to time. We caught a mouse in here. He's sitting there running around. I was like, what the heck is he doing? Caught a mouse. Excellent mouse catcher. I prefer you not kill him, but you know, it's a cat. Like, oh man, you killed the mouse? Yeah, it's part of the circle of life. That's what it's called. I'd rather prefer him not do it, but that's part of him, but he does. I think that's cruel. It's a cat. You're supposed to do that. I've got friends of mine that are too passionate about things. The bedazzle. That's what reminded me of the bedazzle. Every time something pop off, they be crying. That's what I said the other day about my haters at the end of the day. You have to remind me of the scene from the bedazzle where he wanted to be extra sensitive. He wanted to be extra sensitive. So he made him extra. He made him super, super sensitive, man. He cried over everything. That sun scene had me crying. We usually do that every time we make something new. They probably in here crying about this. I wouldn't be surprised. I know one thing, they're gonna be crying about that steamboat. Nothing about that other PC we're about to build, our cyberpunk. Gotta change the color of my radiator. I swear you're lucky it's not the medieval days. I swear. The medieval days. Challenge my freaking theory. How dare you! I have to slap you with the glove right across your. How dare you! I challenge you to a duel. You're slapping people left and right with a glove. That's what the challenge back then. You slap somebody with a glove, like what you call him said, Charlie Murphy. Somebody gets slapped in the face. Somebody got to go at the end of the day. They got to go at the end of the day. All right, slap you across the face. Yeah, messing with my honor at the end of the day. And today we're going to build this Cyberpunk PC. One of those jokers are coming like, that's absurd. It will never happen. I'm not even going to slap you no more. I'm bringing it downward. If I was from that old age of mine, that's what they did back then. They slapped you with a glove. But if I'm slapping you, I'm not going across your face this way. I'm bringing it down. I'm bringing it from my waist and bringing it upward under your chin and bring it up. I want to make sure you get that slap 100%. That 100%. That's the backhand upward, I hate to put this word in here, pimp slap. And you got to jump a little bit when you do it, because you want something, yeah! That's right. I'm going to do like Rock'em Sock'em. I'm trying to pop your head off, like, pow! You got to do it with class. Take it to the side and slap them, and then spin around at the same time and land right back in the same position where you slapped them at. That's class right there. That's class. That's how we do it. Back in the old days. I ain't joking. But if I was in the medieval days, that's how I be slapping people. I just slapped and did a whole little curtsy like a little ballerina. Ta-da! I challenge you to a duel. You know what's going to happen, right? I've had the story about the duels, right? That there's no way in the world I'm going to basically do that whole 5 and 10 steps. We ain't doing that. That ain't going to happen. They'll sit there and say, all right, gentlemen, take your pistols. I'm taking 2, by the way. I have 1 on me. They don't check you. No, they don't check you, right? I looked at that like, do they check you for pistols? What if you have a second pistol on you? And you dodged the other one. Now you got one pistol with a bullet. You got a gun with a bullet, and he don't have one because he fired his. He is doomed. I wonder if anyone cheated. And I got to look that up. People cheated in duels. I got to see what went on. Because now I'm kind of curious. How many people had a second pistol on them? Because they never checked them. Now they could sit there. I think honor was supposed to be everything, your honor at the end of the day, but well, the pirates really didn't care. Well, pirates had their own code by the sea. They had their own code. But the honor that these people carried, they didn't carry that honor. Couldn't care less about that. But they had their own code system at the end of the day. What they did consider was honor among them, not their honor. Then they couldn't care less about that. So what's the worst going to happen if you lose your honor? Where's my cell phone? I gotta look this up. I'm a little curious. What's the penalty? Like really, people are gonna do business with you. If you're rich, you're accountant, you're rich. You're gonna do business with you. You got money. Your family got power. Like they're not gonna turn you away. Like we can't give you any flour today because you have no honor. They couldn't care less. They're making money. So I don't see where it's gonna be a problem. But people are gonna talk behind your back. They're probably doing that already. So what the heck? So I'm curious. In the medieval days, if you lost your honor, what would that do to your reputation? Losing your honor in medieval times meant social ruin. You be discarded, attracted, lose opportunities, marriage, work, and well, if you got money, who cares? It doesn't, I mean, if you don't have that type of money, you don't pay like that, then yeah, then that would definitely hurt you. But you're talking about marriage, work, potential face extreme consequences like public shaming or even violence, like reputation of fame of the standard of to the contact social circles. So you're not invited in social circles. Somebody you're not getting married, and basically business contracts and all that. So technically, if you were the king's son, why would you even care about honor? If you're someone of a higher stat, why would you even care? Because it would not even phase you whatsoever. I don't think any woman's going to turn you down if you have that kind of money on you to begin with. That's not going to happen. Social circles, no, not really. Now, if you got all that money, they don't care. Everybody wants to be in your social circle, regardless of who you are and what you do, because you have money and power. So, no, that wouldn't be it at all. And to be not in social, no, that's not going to do anything right there. And as in facing violence, well, that's not going to happen. If you got power today, no one's going to touch you. So yeah, those guys back in the old days were slapping people left and right. Yeah, they could have cheated left and right. What are you going to do against me? I'm a duke at the end of the day. What are you going to do against me? I got power. My family has power at the end of the day. You really want to start something? It's not going to pop off like that. And social circle? No, people want to be around me because I got money and ties. So I'm always going to have people around me. So that's not going to, no big deal at the end of the day. Now somebody that maybe not on a high enough status would be affected by that. But no. They're not going to be affected by it. That's why they were slapping people left and right with them gloves. Yeah, I challenge you. They cheated. Whatever. I'm here today. I'm going to be here tomorrow. Whatever. Blah. You're not going to meet me in the street or anything. Whatever. So, yeah. Definitely. I can see that one right there. I can see people did cheat. I guarantee you. People cheated. I like the one on Highlander. Where Highlander couldn't die. He was in that century. And he said something about his wife. Or he slept with his wife. He did something crazy. And the guy kept stabbing him over and over again. He kept getting back up. I think after the first time, and this guy was a professional swordsman. Of course, most rich people are at that time. They're especially trained. They have trainers. I think if you stab someone in the heart and they get back up, I think it's time to leave. I think it's time to get the cart and just get the freak out of here, because that's not human at the end of the day, and I don't want to take it off any more than it probably could be right now. But he kept stabbing him over and over again. I think after the third stab, it should have really sunk in that this guy's not human. And they were superstitious back then. So chances are he could have been a witch, a warlock, whatever he could have thought he was in the day. Maybe time to leave. I was interested watching that one. He had stabbed him over and over and over again until he finally apologized. And then, no, what happened? Yeah, I remember that. And then the guy got mad. The guy's servant got mad, and he pulled a gun to shoot him. And the guy got so mad because it was about honor at the end of the day, that you're going to disrespect my honor. After this man apologized, you're going to shoot him. He shot his servant and killed him. Because, the whole honor thing. So, anyway, I don't get that part. Because, again, if you stab somebody, it's like you shooting somebody, right? And they get back up. What are you going to do? When you shot them the first time, they got back up. What do you think, a second bullet's going to do anything? So say you fire again, and they get right back up. I think that's common sense telling you, we need to get the freak out of here, because that's not a human being over there. Yeah, that's just that common sense kicks in. You're dealing with something that's not human. And if it can't die, and you can, then you need to go. So, yeah. That's the part I didn't understand about that part. He said he stabbed you over and over again. He said, yeah, he finally got I got tired of him stabbing, and I just apologized. Found it funny. But it's interesting how the Highlanders can't abuse power to a certain degree, due to the fact that they have other people hunting them. Like, it evens out. Like, they're not like can roam the earth and to kill and do what they want. They have another one hunting them. So they never know when this other one's going to pop up. And some of them are brutal. As you can see, the other guy was quite brutal. He done wiped out most of his family just for the sake of it, because he could do it. Just to tick him off. To bring him to him so he could take his head off, so that way he can get that power. And it's him and the other guy are so standy. And you can't die. That's one of the parts of it. But on the short end of the stick, there is someone hunting you that's skilled, maybe better than you, to take your head off. So, I guess you can't really relax, can you? Unless you're going to lose your head. And that one guy, boy, that one warrior, he was no joke, man. The one is his villain, sheesh. When he took out that sword, he had he had upgraded his sword, so basically he can carry it anywhere he wants. Boy, he was something else. Ugh. I still can't believe the most powerful superhero, Marvel superhero, is Santa Claus. Yeah, look it up. It's actually true. Santa Claus is the most powerful mutant. More powerful than Thanos. More powerful than the Celestials. He's more powerful than all of them. He's the most powerful mutant. How? Immortality, number one. Number two, telekinesis. And can't be set on fire, so that's impossible, because if you can, he goes down chimneys and walk through flames and all that. Can't freeze to death. He can talk to animals. He can read your mind, because he knows when you've been naughty, you know, when you've been nice. He has time travel capabilities. He can even slow down time, because he can travel around the world and he can slow time down. And on top of that, he has teleportation abilities, because he can put his finger on his nose and disappear wherever he wants to go. So, how would you beat something like that? And he's incredibly super strong. He's even stronger than Hulk. So, yeah, look it up. Santa Claus is considered to be the most powerful mutant. And the good thing about it is, he's not even evil, which is fantastic, because he's nice. There's a bunch of elves, and they have immortality too. Even the reindeers are enchanted. They got power. The sled has power. So, yeah. I forgot that villain. I can't think of his name. They talk about him quite a bit. About a villain that can't stand Santa Claus. That every year, he basically does whatever he can to stop Santa Claus from visiting them. He puts out the best weapons and whatever he has to try to stop Santa, and nothing stops him. He gets in every single time to give him a piece of coal, because he's been on the naughty list. And it drives him crazy. It's Dark something, I can't think of his name. But anyway, it talks about how, in the comic book, it talks about how every year Santa Claus goes to some of the best defense systems. And you see Santa coming out, smoke coming out of him, everything, you know what I mean? They fire rockets, missiles. They tried everything, and nothing can stop him. And he comes in every single time to walk up to this villain and hand him a piece of coal. Can you imagine that? That everything, your defense systems, everything you have that you upgrade year after year after year, you can't stop it. He'll walk right through your layer. Walk right up to you and give you a piece of coal, because you're on the naughty list. And there's nothing you can do about it. So if he wanted to destroy you, he could easily do it. And you couldn't stop him. But he's not like you, so, you know, hey. I can't think of his name. I got it. I'll look it up. All right, we're still doing the insane, crazy trim. Yeah! Yeah! Is that part of that? Yeah! Yeah, that's part of that. Okay, cool. With the Master Craftsman, they were in there getting it in. Yeah! It's time for ice cream time. It's ice cream time. Ice cream time. So we're finishing up the building here. Pretty soon, the next building, which will be the church, which is going to be a very interesting one. It's going to take some time to put that one together, because it does involve some cobblestones. We got to put together piece by piece. Yeah. Absolutely mad, I tell you. Absolutely mad. Mad indeed. 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 What time we got? Make sure we're done. We'll put the windows in. Actually, no, Sherlock. Because we got to put the framework around the window when we put in the the glass. Put the glass on the outside. So easier way to do it: put the glass on the outside, build the frame around it. Much easier to do. than doing it that way, because it would take forever. Because I got to take this plate, I got to go inside and put the windows in. I'm not doing that. Was a hard one to do on the other one. So the best thing to do is to basically build the frame. Put the windows outside and build the frame around it. So let's install our little windows here. Best way to do it, use the thins. The thins work much better. Our thin cardboard strips work better for that. I'm gonna get burned like it's 1995. Then we'll place the window over top this, and then we'll put the frame around it, around the window. Let's see. Here. Nope. Something that bothers me on that one. It bothers me greatly. Let me see. Nope. Still bothers me greatly. Right, that's better. Much better. All right, while you dry, I gotta go to another window. And like I said, we're gonna put the plastic over top this. The plastic's nice and wet, and then we're gonna put another frame around that, a wide frame around it, with some shutters. So that's just the beginning stage of it all. All that whatnot and all that. Let's get this side done, our little side window, which is a pain in the freaking neck to get a little in there. So we're gonna break it down from here, and we'll break it down for you. And pretty soon, our orange screen will be here for us to put inside of our furnace. We're going to be doing the entire thing with long brushes. Allow us to give us that reach where we need to go. Oh, how dare you with Spider-Man fingers. Get there. Nice. And then we gotta put the light in from the other side, which has to use a special light for that. Look at that furnace to grow nice and bright. Ha! Yeah! Time to get burned. Sheesh. Get in there, man. Seriously, I do not want to wish to get burned in this process. Oh, you just have to be a jerk about this, didn't you? Alright, no problem. I'll take it this way instead. I don't know if I get burned that way. I was kind of jacked up. That sucked. Now, for people worrying about the excess glue is fantastic because it works for the texture. It does. Does a fantastic job. Like you see my, what you call them over there? My PCs that I built? Yeah, that texture, man, makes it look, gives it a much beautiful look to it. It does. Brings out that antique in it right there. Round, people, round. Funny when you got a cat for a long time, you start doing cat noises when you talk to people. I don't understand what you're talking about. Round. Yeah, round. Really? Round. The other day, me and Frank went to the store to go pick up some cat food. Round. I do it all the time. My friends be cracking up. Hey, what's your cat? You know, I love my cat. My cat's awesome. It's awesome. It drives me a little crazy sometimes, but what cat doesn't? What cat doesn't? The important thing he knows at the end of the day, that's my Whisker Boy. Whisker Boy. It's a funny cat, though. Yeah, so that's what comes out is use your honor. Why, I never. Well, you never have. How dare you, sir? You have lost your honor. Who cares? So you're saying my money is no good here? No, we did not say that. We did not say that. Then choose your words carefully. To a bar, or actually a tavern, and you'd be like, can I be served here? Why can't I be served here? You have no honor. So you're saying my father's money has no authority here? No, we never said that. We never said that. You know, your father's money? Your father's money? Yeah, because my father's be super awesome rich. Like, yes, my father's money. Did you not say that? Did you? You owe me an apology. I wish to have an apology right now. Right now. We are sorry, sir. Not enough. I will never come back here again. This is funny. Yeah, I did stuff like that back then. I would never come back here again. Ever. Not ever. You gotta yell when you're doing it. Not ever. So he's a real jerk. I tell you that much. He's a real jerk. Not ever. And go back and see the king and he'd be like, what did you do? So what did I do? Did you go to the tavern? I've been going to that tavern since a young lad, and you have gone and managed to destroy it all for me. You will go back and you will apologize, or I will take you there myself. And you go back there, and of course you can't do that because you'll be embarrassed and people make a mockery, so you got to figure out how to fix that mess you got yourself in. You'll come back, you know what? I decided to give you another chance. All right. But don't let me hear of it ever again. And don't what your father said to me today. So you can never walk in there with your father because you know what's going to happen. He's going to embarrass the crap out of you. All family's name, how dare you? Disrespect all honor. But father, did that wish to die? Makes no difference. Your honor is everything. Like the Klingons. These guys are awesome. They say at the end of the day that the best for them to die in battle is the best, most glorious death ever. You to go out like a coward, they don't want that. They don't want that at all. Period. Glorious death. Glorious death. The freaking starship. I mean, their ship be blowing up all around them, and they just be sitting there smiling like glorious death. This is going to probably upset some Klingon fans. And they're like, you know what? Yeah, good luck with that whole glorious death thing. I'm going to go fight the Seer for another day. I'm going to take one of these pods and get on out of here. Good luck with all that. See y'all later. Like, what did they do? Just left. You know, Klingon fans contact me like, how dare you share the name of a Klingon? Calm down. Star Trek fan, I felt myself. Geez, you'll take it too far. Someone can speak Klingon. I didn't even know they had another language. That's freaking cool, though. That is freaking cool if you can do that. That is freaking cool. Speak Klingon? That is freaking cool. The Shango people think that people like that. At one point, people thought that people did cosplay and all that stuff, that they were a bunch of nerds and losers and all that stuff. And now you got everybody doing it. Everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing cosplay. But that's how it was at one point. If you played Dungeons and Dragons, you did any of that dress up stuff, they thought you were a loser at the end of the day. Well, as you can see, a lot of people do it now, which I'm happy for them because, you know, the nerd got picked on all the time for being too smart or this, that, and the other, or wanting to play chess or do this or do that, you know what I mean? And now everybody goes to those places, cosplays. Now they don't think they're nerds and losers anymore, do you? Now, there you go. You got to respect what they do. They take the time to build. You see that when they go in to show how they build those costumes? Oh my goodness, the time they put into those? Man, that's some work. That's some work. You got to respect it. Got to respect it. And everybody wants to be nerds. Everybody wants to wear glasses. Everybody wants to be called nerd and this, that, and the other. Yeah, because nerd is hot. Being a nerd is hot. Being a nerd is hot. Some women would fake how smart they were because they figured that the guy would never like them. Now today, man, yeah, right. They're showing it off, which you should have been doing a long time ago. Nobody sit there because they don't want to be around. They don't want to be around you, so be. They want to be around you. Forget them. Because, you know, they want to be popular. They want to be at the popular table with the popular kids and all that dumb nonsense. Oh, forget them, man. If you notice, the kids in golf didn't care for Jack, which was cool because they didn't care whether you liked them or not. Yep. Never could understand that whole separation in school at the end of the day. You know, hang with the geeks and this, that, and the other. Ever seen that show called Geeks and Freaks? That was a good show. You know, you ever watch Geeks and Freaks? Cool. It's a good show. If my kids were geeks, if I had kids and they were nerds, I have every single one of them take up hand-to-hand combat. Because I wish you would put your hands on them, see what happens at the end of the day. Well, I'm sorry about your son at the end of the day, but, you know, he put his hands on my son, and my son broke his arm. So, you know, hey, to each his own at the end of the day. I would definitely get them all training. All of them have training. And some form of fighting style. Because just in case you want to bully them or pick on them whatsoever, you know what I mean? Because they're nerds at the end of the day, they're going to whip your behind. And you will never do that again. You will learn a valuable lesson about life, about bullying people that you think are weaker than you. And get the cranberries kicked out of you. So, yeah. Yeah, spend time with those people. They're fun. The geeks and nerds and all that, man, was interesting people. That's how I learned about Dungeons and Dragons. I know anything about that. So a buddy was showing me that he does. I didn't know he was into that. He was showing me some of the statues and stuff he painted and the boards he designed. I was like, wow, this is freaking crazy. Yeah. It is amazing. It's a whole nother world. Paints and designs, all of them. I didn't know he was even into that kind of stuff until one day we went to some place. I think I had to go pick up something. And there was a table display they had up there. And he was just staring at it. And I was like, you into this? And he was like, yeah, I love this kind of stuff. I was like, really? I said, you got a table? He said, yeah, I got a table. He showed me his setup. He didn't show anybody so people laugh at him. Man, that set was beast. Hand painted everything. Gorgeous. Teach me this. I want to know about this. How does this work? Yep. Instead of making jokes with them, learn from them. And now today, that computer geek at the end of the day, the person that they call the nerd and this, that, and the other because they knew computers and all that stuff, look at them today. Those are the guys who build the gaming systems, modifications, and all that crazy stuff. Those guys. Guys like Bill Gates that are multi-millionaires. I'm pretty sure he was probably picked on when he was a kid too, probably so. And chances are you end up working in his factory. But other than that, yep, everybody want to be. They used to tease the IT group. I watched that show called IT Crowd, man. That is hilarious. I love that show. Hilarious. But they tease these guys in the day. Now I know some of them are, some of the programmers I met are more hip, more up to date and stuff like that. You know, they hang out, chill, party. And I actually met some of them at the end of the day, a couple of my friends in the day, that are not very social at all, period. Not social at all. So we have them hang with us because we're social at the end of the day. I have no problem talking to women and going out and having fun, whatever. They have that issue. So we kind of help them break that barrier to retrain them and send them back out in the wild. And man, they have a ball. You know what I mean? So, yeah. That whole thing about basically, you learn a lot. You can learn a lot from people at the end of the day. Stop blocking them out. What about you? No, I have friends that I have lots of friends and stuff to hang out with. I just prefer that. My me time is me, by myself. But I'm out there taking care of business and that. I go see them, see how they're doing, wherever that another day, you know. But when it comes down to my time, my me time, it's me. Taco Delario. I'm about to get myself some ice cream. Some ice cream, people. Ice cream, root beer float, baby. Yeah, I remember at one point, you know, if you was in the computer club or chess club, whatever, they could see you be a nerd. And now, today, everybody wants to be a nerd. Everybody wants to be a nerd. Everybody wants to be a geek. It's a popular thing to be. You know, at one point, those kids wanted to go to the parties, be with the in crowd, all that stuff. And in my years, I couldn't care less. And I had plenty of family, you know, just about everybody in high school, because, you know, they went to clubs and parties and stuff like that. And one of my brothers, both of them were mechanics. Both of them had beautiful cars. You know, when you were in freaking high school and you got what do you have here? One had the Thunderbird, T-Top Thunderbird in high school. Oh, yeah. But anyway, so, they were popular. Well, my brothers and sisters were very popular in school. So, they were popular, I became popular, but I couldn't care less about that the other day. I was in between. I hung around with them, I hung around with them, I hung around with them, and I hung around with the nerds. Nerds were always doing something freaking crazy and cool. So I was out here with them. People don't understand. They were always doing something cool. You could learn something from them at the end of the day. I learned something new every time I hung around with those guys. They had the best comic books. Well, definitely the best comic books. Not only had the best comic books, they can explain to you about, you know, the whole theory of the comics and stuff like that, man. They're always doing building rockets and stuff. You wouldn't want to hang around with somebody who build rockets. Remote control detonate rockets. Yeah, you missed out on it. People who basically pushed them out missed a lot of stuff. You learned the master of chess. Strategy, skill. Oh man, I'm telling you, learned so much from them. Yep. So I hung around more with them. And we did, sometimes we invite them, they want to go do skateboarding, teach them how to skateboard and stuff like that, play hockey, stuff like that, you know what I mean? My friends didn't treat them any different, you know what I mean? I liked them, they liked them. That worked. But too many other people didn't like them and want to bully them at the end of the day. Because, you know, because they're different. They can stay to themselves. Yeah. If they didn't have any friends, nobody would have their back at the end of the day when I was going to school. You get in a fight with them, you get in a fight with all my people at the end of the day. It's my people. Ain't that right, Taco Bear? Ain't that right, Taco Bear? Ain't that right? Look at you looking all furry over there. How can you be so furry every single day? 10,000 kids. I'm tired as human. Well, I'll hook you up, man. I'll hook you up. What do you want? I'll take care of you. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Upside down furry face. Upside down furry face. Look at the beans. Look at the beans. Look at him. He's so cute. I love you. Why are you so cute? Why? Why? Show off. It's interesting. I prayed for a cat, and my Lord set me taco. Taco? We have finished the blacksmith. Now we have to do is paint and get it ready for its next stage of windows and paint. Out of the barrel. Roll out the barrel. Bum, 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 bum. Next time we have to build Ebenezer Scrooge's town. But this will be done before Christmas. I'm gonna get a chance to decorate it with some Christmas work. What do you think, Taco? Yeah, that's how it was. Quite funny, if you build a computer, because you'd be a nerd because you build computers. You're a nerd because you build computers. They're figuring out how to use it. So I'm like, you're a nerd. He's a nerd. He can work a computer. What does he do? He's IT tech. He's a nerd. I'm proud to be one. Taco, you ready for the cyberpunk build? Oh man, it's gonna be beautiful. Beautiful. It's gonna look like these? No, it's gonna be a completely different build. Look at the crap I had to go through to get hoses to match that thing. Oh, you gotta get a kill switch for it. Alright people. I'm done with this one build. On Monday, we're gonna be on the church. And then after that, we get a day in. I might do a day on this. We get the church done. We'll get the tavern finished. Hopefully we can knock out the windmill. We ain't got much to do on this one. I mean the water mill, because we got to do the roof. And I think we did all the, yeah, we did all that. But this has got to be made out of wood. We need wood strips on there. We did the wood strips that we did on the deck. After we've done here to make this look more realistic. We have to do. Yeah, we got to get that done. And I got to put little strips on here too. I have to be made up realistic too. So these have to be stripped out on wood. That has to be stripped out on wood, stripped out on wood, stripped on wood. So you can make it realistic. Realistic. Look at my little door, people. Look at my little door. It's so cute. I like my little door. And over here we got a little burning furnace right there. A little burning furnace. And we got a bucket in there. If you can see it off there. We got a bucket in there because we have to cool down. Okay, I had to order an anvil. Order me an anvil. There we go. We got a little bucket in there right there. So we can cool down the steel or whatever we're in there pressing. There's a little table right there. We're going to put an anvil in there. Anvil, whatever it's called. And in the back to that rack right there, we're going to put swords and shields all in there. And we got our chimney done. I'm kind of shocked that I actually matched the chimney exactly where it's at, which is crazy. Tell me about it. We forgot something. You hear him talking? The chimney. That's what we forgot. See, the chimneys have to look like this. Not like that. Oh, I'm gonna get my ice cream, man. Alright, we can do this quick. This is a fast job. I know how we have to do this one. I'm gonna get my ice cream. Tell you want ice cream? Yes, sir, Daddy-O. Daddy-O. I'll take some ice cream, Daddy-O. I got you, Taco Man. I got you. Let's do this real quick. Let's see. Here. Got the glue gun sitting up. Got that Daddy-O. See if we get that Soul Calibur. I love Soul Calibur. I'm gonna get my Soul Calibur again. Is there no other way? I like Nightmare. Nightmare is my favorite. I love Nightmare and Soul Calibur. My all-time favorite. That side step, you line it up just right. Coming out with that sword. Pow, pow, pow. Oh, we gotta go Soul Calibur. Don't worry about it. Taco with some Cheez-Its. 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 Not Jesus. Cheez-Its. It's the Crocker. Oh, he said the Lord's name in vain. No, I said Cheez-Its at the Crocker. What does it say the Lord's name in vain? Oh. Oh. We're almost done. They're getting they're gonna get whatchamacallit, they're gonna get beer or root beer. Somebody said root beer at the tavern. I'm gonna get my root beer at my also, but I have my ice cream. Nope, it's gotta fit. If not, you're going to be off there big time. Whoop, too long. Gotta cut it where it fits, baby. Perfect. Perfect. Well, it's time for break. Well, not really break, we're leaving. Not technically leaving. I gotta do 2 videos here. I gotta do a video on the giant screen on football, and I gotta do the floor. Which I really don't feel like doing, to tell you the truth, honestly. Matter of fact, you know what? I'll do it on Monday. Yeah, I haven't had any me time in a while. Time for me to have some me time. Going home, jump on VR. VR, people, VR! Get my massage chair and chill out. Like, do you have screens? I have screens, I'm not sure. Got screens whenever I go, I got screens. Can't be in VR forever because VR gives me headaches. So I'm only in there just my AMSR VR, AMSR, which I do. Helps me to relax. There we go. That's a chimney. Done right. Done right by my father's fathers and his father's fathers. We've been doing chimney work for many, many years. Got a nice little, there we go. That's how it's supposed to look. His father's father's father. All right, gentlemen. It's time to scare you off. We have just now finished the detail work. Time for us to leave. Go to the tavern. Enjoy a pint of ale. Let's go put everything back where it's supposed to be. Here. There. So the cobblestone that area. That's all the masonry and the finished step one. Oh, so much work went into our little town. Just gonna get that in there. Get the sword. So pretty soon, finishing up the rest of this tower. Actually, got working clocks coming in for this and the other one. Those are the bigger ones over there. Great big ones version and the 80s arcade. And then over here we have the miniature version 1. So I made it so everybody can get to everything. You can go through here and we put the lake here. This is where the lake is at now. This is all land. So you can come down the stairs here. This is land here. They come from here, come down here and go this way. And then over here, let's get this a little more neat up. There we go. Dock house here. Oops, what are you hooked on? You should not be hooked on anything. There we go. So we have our staircase there, so you can come down there. And we have our pier here. Nice pier here. We have a lake area right here. This is actually land right there. So we have our little blah, 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 I forget the name of it. Our little wagon. And then here we have the tavern on this side. And this is the corner back there. We have to put flowers and all stuff back there. There's our store right here. Right there. And then over here, back there, there's a blacksmith back there. Let it all be lit up so you can see it. When I do it all, I'm going to put a little glow in the front so it looks like the light's pushing out. Right to the top area. Nice little enchanted looks good on. It came out quite nicely. When we get done, we'll have the rest of the shingles put in. Like we have this one already done. This is the side of the church right there. Can't wait till we decorate it for Christmas. So we did decorate it for the different holidays. Well, hope you enjoyed the build. Thank you all for your time coming out. I appreciate. I have to go. And God bless. Of course, we thank our Lord and Savior for blessing us with the ability to do this. Without Him, none of this would ever be possible. And I thank Him for all things. Gotta go. Seek God and be blessed.